That's the least you could do.
Be a man about the situation.
We have no money.
She's a player. She's unpredictable.
And I started messing with another guy.
You was making something up.
She used me for a place to
I
stay.
can't come nowhere pregnant.
Where's this other possible father?
He said he don't believe in condoms.
Because he had 2 girlfriends.
Gave you the justification to cheat.
That the only reason why he wants the visitation is to claim her on his taxes.
Baby's got more sense than the mama and the daddy.
We've got a real doozy for you today, folks. Get ready to witness 5 moments when Judge Lauren Lake completely loses it. We've got Miss Foster and Mr. Jackson here, and boy, are they in for a ride. Miss Foster claims that Mr. Jackson is the father of her 1-year-old daughter, Jakia, but Mr. Jackson is not having it. He's denying paternity left and right. The tension is already thick in the courtroom, and we're just getting started.
Miss Foster, you claim you and your ex-boyfriend planned your pregnancy only to have him abandon you and deny paternity. You are here to prove that he is your daughter, Jakia's biological father. You want him to step up and take care of his daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, you say Miss Foster cheated on you multiple times during your relationship.
Now get this, folks. Miss Foster starts off by claiming that she and Mr. Jackson planned this pregnancy together. Oh, but wait, there's a little twist. She also admits to sleeping with another guy, Marquise, around the same time. Yikes, this love triangle is turning into a full-blown soap opera.
Ma'am, Your Honor, this relationship started through social media. We found each other through Facebook.
Social media, I should have known. No wonder we talking about social media. Okay, go ahead.
We found each other through social media, so we had a mutual friend. They vouched for him, said he was a good person, so we jumped into a relationship. I had my first child, and he did come bring us to his mother's house, but he was claiming my first child knowing she wasn't his baby.
And just when you think it can't get any crazier, Miss Foster drops a bombshell. She reveals that the guy she claimed was her brother, who used to drop off the baby, was actually the guy she was sleeping with. Can you believe it? Talk about a family affair.
I want to be his baby's mother, because I'm the best mother in the world. That's why he said it.
Actually,
Facts.
no.
Facts, Your Honor.
No.
I am the best mother in the world. If he can't say anything,
having
he
sex
hasn't even
on it
stepped
and all.
up to be even a
But
stepdad.
the man that she had dropping her off at my house, claiming was her brother, was the dude she was sleeping with.
Correct, Your Honor. It definitely
And
was.
basically what the story was, she already came to my house pregnant by her so-called brother.
But hold on, folks, because Mr. Jackson isn't backing down. He's throwing some serious shade at Miss Foster, accusing her of using him for a place to stay. Ouch. The drama is reaching new heights, and we're only a few minutes into this episode.
I went to go continue doing me with the Marquise gentleman. That could be the alleged father as well. I was sleeping with both guys, and I mean, you had 2 girlfriends, well, I can't have 2 boyfriends.
I called.
Oh, and you said it's my brother.
Sure did. Yes, Your Honor.
Right, which I used to call him my friend, but
Well,
first they denying it, I'm like, you know what I'm saying, kick him out.
Wait, so you think you in a relationship, but she's sleeping with your friend?
Yes,
Now things start to heat up as Miss Foster confidently declares that she is the best mother in the world. Oh girl, you better back that up. But wait, Mr. Jackson fires back, claiming that she hasn't let him see the baby because of his new girlfriend. Uh-oh, tensions are running high and Judge Lauren Lake is about to step in.
somebody
get back
else,
cool for
me
some
and my
reason.
baby stayed. That's just what it was.
So, Miss Foster, I want you to take me to the day you found out you were pregnant.
I fell to the floor. I did 3 rolls around the floor in the doctor's office because I wasn't having no kids if I'm finna be a single mother to 2 children by myself. I'm 20. It's not happening. So, at that point, I told Marquise because Marquise was there.
Marquise is the brother
Yeah.
who wasn't a brother.
Yeah.
And here she comes, folks. Judge Lake is not playing around today. She's giving Miss Foster and Mr. Jackson a reality check. She reminds them that making a baby is the easy part, but being a responsible parent is a whole different ballgame. Preach, Judge Lake.
Your girlfriend is not your advocate. She doesn't have to be that. You should already have Jakia on your mind if this is a possibility that this child is yours. But I see what's happening. Just like I told you before, both of you all, y'all can talk. And I mean, look, it's entertaining. The problem is, a baby's life ain't no show.
Okay.
It's a real life.
But wait, it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA test results are in. Will Mr. Jackson be proven to be the father, or will Miss Foster have to go back to the drawing board? The suspense is killing us.
Mr. Jackson, you are not the father. What's funny?
I heard that. It was kind of like, ooh. That's why I left.
All right, folks, let's dive right into the chaos. In this episode, we meet Miss Currington, a young woman who claims that Mr. Kim Larson is the father of her 5-month-old daughter, Kiora. But hold on tight, because Mr. Larson is not buying it. He's got some serious doubts and thinks Miss Currington is just after his money.
And you claim during a torrid, older-younger love affair, the defendant fathered your 5-month-old daughter, Kiora. Once today's results prove he is the father, you want him to stop denying and take full responsibility. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kim Larson, you and your daughter say that the plaintiff may be young, but is a known playgirl.
Miss Currington takes the stand, ready to fight for the truth and prove that Mr. Larson is the father of little Kiora. She's determined to make him take responsibility and put an end to his denials. Take your shot, girl.
And we kept trying and trying and trying.
And now that the baby's here, he denies the baby.
Yes, because I'm in another relationship.
Oh, Mr. Kim Larson, you deny this baby. You say this baby's not yours.
Yes, Honor. I can explain that to you. She's a player. She's unpredictable. She played a game with my emotion. She plotted.
Oh, you say she plotted.
Yes.
And here comes Mr. Larson, looking all confident like he's got the world figured out. He's denying left and right, claiming that Miss Currington is nothing but a playgirl trying to trap him for his cash. Oh, things are getting real, folks.
I know these types of women. They prey on men like this, like kind-hearted, very openly, and she took advantage of my dad. We don't even know if it's, if that's my dad's baby because she be messing around in the streets. So how are we supposed to know for sure if that's my dad's baby or not? So that's why we here.
Now hold on to your seats because Mr. Larson's daughter, Ms. Larson, is about to spill some tea. She believes Mr. Larson is not the father and accuses Miss Currington of being a wild child who can't be trusted. Ooh, the tension is building.
Because you won't let my dad see her.
First off, he don't want to.
You keep.
He ain't even take care of you.
Messages up, but you was like something about you just trying to get my dad on child support. Period.
Cause he's not doing nothing.
Because
what
you
you
keep
expect?
taking her away. How is he supposed to do something?
Cause I live
when
in
he
another
can't
state.
travel all the way to Chicago all the time.
Okay.
Y'all need an agreement or something.
He's the
right?
one with the car, not me.
Oh, well, then that's your problem then.
Oh, the courtroom is heating up, folks. Miss Currington is not backing down, presenting her evidence and demanding a paternity test. She's got the receipts, and she's ready to prove Mr. Larson wrong. You show him, girl.
Acting
Rude. Out of control.
Yeah.
And so you didn't ever sign the birth certificate?
No.
So since the baby's been born, do you have a relationship with Kiora, Mr. Kim Larson?
No, because he don't want to be around a person I'm with now. He figured he should take care of her instead of him.
Well, are you taking care of her?
I still doubtful, but I still send her money to help her out.
But wait, there's more. Mr. Larson drops a bombshell, claiming that Miss Currington had a one-night stand with someone else while they were together. Oh, the plot thickens. Could it be that Mr. Larson is not the father after all?
To help with Kiora.
No.
So, Mr. Kim Larson, are you still in love with Miss Currington?
Yes.
Yes.
And you really want to be back together with her?
Yes. And if I don't go back to him, he's not going to do for her. Ain't that what your exact words was?
Not true, Honor.
I have to be with him in order for him to want to take care of her.
Judge Lauren Lake is trying her best to keep the peace, but the tension is palpable. She's had enough of the back and forth, and she's about to show them who's boss. Brace yourselves, folks, because Judge Lauren Lake is about to lose her patience.
And you have no doubts, though, that Mr. Kim Larson is Kiora's biological father? All right. This is very interesting.
A mess.
Very.
Yeah, I'm being kind to say interesting because I feel like, Mr. Larson, you do understand you're dating a young woman that's younger than your daughter.
Plenty of them. I'm not the only one.
I believe you.
Oh boy, things are getting intense in the courtroom. Judge Lauren Lake is giving them the, business stare. She was done with their bickering, and she's not afraid to let them know. You better watch out, Mr. Larson and Miss Currington.
Listening to this whole MO, I believe you. And you sitting up, perched up, Mr. Larson, for a young girl who's looking for a man to take care of them, and you offering it all up and they taking it.
Laugh now, cry later.
Laugh now, cry later.
That's what she says.
No, what I found interesting was it was laugh now, cry later, but since this courtroom is all about the child, I took that a little further.
The drama is reaching its peak, folks. Judge Lauren Lake is laying down the law, demanding respect and cooperation. She's not here for their games, and she's ready to get to the truth. You better listen up, Mr. Larson and Miss Currington.
But KR's the one really crying because she's 5 months old and she's lived for 5 months without the certainty of a father where this man is denying her and you all back and forth in an unnecessary tit for tat. So yeah, it's laugh now, cry later, and the babies cry. That's why we're here to protect them. And I have these results, and it's time that we get them for KR.
Listen up, Mr. Larson and Miss Currington. The tension is unbearable, folks. Judge Lauren Lake is about to reveal the DNA results, but not before giving them a piece of her mind. Will Mr. Larson be proven right, or will Miss Carrington get the validation she's been seeking? The suspense is killing us. What will Judge Lauren Lake say? We can't wait to find out.
Mr. Kim Larson, you are the father.
Dad, no.
We've got Mr. Taylor, who's hoping against hope that he's the father, and Miss Jackson, who's been flip-flopping like a fish out of water. And here they come, folks. Mr. Taylor, looking like he's about to burst with anticipation, and Miss Jackson, who's got that "I'm about to drop a bombshell" look on her face.
Mr. Taylor, you say your fiance, Miss Jackson, dropped a bombshell on you when she was 9 months pregnant and told you that you may not be her child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
She later changed her mind and said you are Raymond's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And while you're hoping he's yours, you're here today to prove that Raymond is not your biological child.
No.
Judge Lake wastes no time diving into the heart of the matter. She wants to know why Miss Jackson dropped the bombshell on Mr. Taylor when she was 9 months pregnant. Talk about a last-minute plot twist.
I want to understand this clearly. You're 9 months now. You didn't find out she was even pregnant.
I found out she was pregnant, but I thought it was by me.
At the 9-month mark is when you learn about Mr. Green.
Yeah, officially.
When does she change and flip the script and say, now it's Mr. Green's?
I got incarcerated for driving without a license, and I was only locked up for like a day. And then I
Okay.
got out of jail and went to go see her, and that's what she told me about.
Mr. Taylor is pouring his heart out, folks. He's been there since day one, raising the child, clothing the child, doing everything for this kid. But now, he's facing the possibility that Raymond might not be his biological child. The stakes are high, my friends.
I get Ryan the whole time to be with her. Be with me. Can I name the baby after you? I put this on my daughter, man. She had a Magic Jack app on her phone. When you on Wi-Fi, you could text people. She was texting him. She was asking, can I name the baby after you?
Who is she texting?
Mr. Green, can I name the baby after you? This, that, and the third. Mr. Green saying, no, won't want no parts. And then when I come around.
Uh-oh, here comes the juicy part. Miss Jackson admits to having an affair with Mr. Green during the window of conception. Talk about a steamy love triangle. But now she's here to prove to Mr. Taylor that he's the father. Can she handle the truth?
Did have a sexual relationship with Miss Jackson.
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I correct?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What was the nature of that relationship?
I guess I met her in the shelter, and she when I met her, she told me that he had left her for a rap career in Atlanta. Just left and didn't want nothing to do with her. Had nothing to do with her. Didn't want to take care of the kids. So I'm
I
sitting
heard
there
what
and I
you just
feel
said,
bad.
right?
So I sit there. I said, feel bad. She got 2 kids. So I sat there and I felt bad. We vibed, and then I was going through stuff with my baby mom at that time.
And here he comes, folks. Mr. Green, the other man in the equation. Will he be the one to shatter Mr. Taylor's dreams of fatherhood? This courtroom is about to explode with tension. Judge Lake is doing her best to keep this courtroom from turning into a full-blown Jerry Springer show. She's the voice of reason in this sea of drama. And boy, does she have her work cut out for her today.
You move in with
I
Mr.
know.
Green.
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
know.
At what point do you go back to Mr. Taylor?
When he dropped her.
No, he didn't drop me. I left.
When he dropped her.
No, I left.
When he dropped her.
So wait a minute,
know
Mr.
the
Green,
story.
is that, you know, how you know the story? From the text,
too
you
much
saw it
clues.
on the phone?
No, too much clues. I'm an intelligent person, Your Honor. Too many clues. Too many clues. Everything I'm saying is
Your
from
Honor,
clues.
this man
Just
thinks
like
he's
this
the
child ain't
smartest man
mine.
in the world.
Just like this child ain't mine.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for, folks. The DNA test results are in, and the truth is about to be revealed. Will Mr. Taylor be walking out of this courtroom a single man? Or will he finally get the confirmation he's been hoping for? There's a lot at stake here, and the tension couldn't be more palpable.
His biological father is Mr. Green.
I figured. That's fine.
Now, in this case, we've got Miss Miller and Mr. Rasmussen going head-to-head over the paternity of their adorable 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee. But hold on to your seats, folks, because things are about to get heated.
You're here to prove to your ex-boyfriend, Scotty Rasmussen, that he is not the father of your 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee Rasmussen.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you've been in an ongoing court battle over custody and have petitioned the court several times for a DNA test, all of which have been denied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rasmussen, you claim the real reason Ms. Miller is denying you're Zaylee's father is because she hates you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Miller is convinced that Mr. Rasmussen is not the father of little Zaylee. She claims that he cheated on her throughout their relationship and that she was even seeing someone else around the time of conception.
Doesn't have any way to bring her to me. She doesn't have any way to meet me halfway.
You say she hates you?
She hates.
Why does she hate you?
She hates me because at the end of the relationship, when things got rocky, I'll admit it, I did go to another woman. I'll be the first to admit that. You know, it was my mistake.
Is that true, Miss Miller?
No.
It's not?
No.
Tell
it's
me
not
what
at all.
you believe to be true in this situation.
But get this, folks. Miss Miller didn't spill the beans about the possibility of another father until 5 or 6 months after Zaylee was born. Talk about keeping a secret. She was playing the long game.
I want my visitation because my daughter means the world to me. I want to be in her life as much as I possibly can.
I mean, if he's driving 160 miles each way every other weekend, the money he would get in his taxes, he's spending in gas.
I'm paying my child support. I have my child support payments right here, plus an additional $3 fee, plus an additional $60 annual fee.
Judge Lake can't believe her ears. She's giving Miss Miller the most bombastic side eye in history. And honestly, we don't blame her. This is some next-level drama. The longer this case went on, the more guilty Ms. Myler was looking.
And she is not in diapers. She is in pull-ups. She is in training right now. She is having problems.
She is.
But what he's saying, Miss Miller, is it's clearly not about money if he's paying his child support. And he also spends money coming to see her. What is this really about for you? Why is it you don't want him involved in this child's life?
Because I still believe that he is not hers.
Mr. Rasmussen, on the other hand, is fighting tooth and nail to prove that he is Zaylee's biological father. He's been there from the very beginning, signing the birth certificate and even paying child support. He's a man on a mission.
On the birth certificate.
Yep, I was at.
You're at the birth?
I was at the birth. I was at every single doctor's appointment. When Zaylee was born, you were at a doctor's appointment. I was at home because I had to work that day. I was at my job as a cashier. I got a phone call and I answered it. They said she was going into labor. I said okay. I hung up the phone. I quickly finished up as fast as I could with that particular customer. I turned off my checkout light. Told the.
And folks, get a load of this. Mr. Rasmussen brings out the big guns with some photo evidence. He's comparing baby pictures of himself to Zaylee, claiming they have the same chin and dimples. Could it be a match made in DNA heaven?
She looks exactly like I did when I was 3 years old. I have a picture of me when I was 3 and a picture of her from just the other day.
Let me see that. Will you hand that to me, Jerome?
Believe it or not, when I was 3 years old, I had blonde hair.
And so this is a picture of Zaylee on the left and you as a child, Mr. Rasmussen, on the right.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And you say you see a distinct similarity.
Yes, I do.
Do you see it, Ms. Miller?
But before we get to the big reveal, let's talk about the tension in that courtroom. Judge Lake is known for her no-nonsense attitude, and she's not about to let anyone disrespect the process. Brace yourselves, folks, because things are about to get real.
In the car and pay the child support and everything. We try to do as much as I try to do as much as I can with her, whether it be something as little as, you know, going to the park or going fishing or going to, an amusement attraction. Every little memory at that age, means more than anybody can possibly fathom. And I just try to make the absolute best out of what I can with what I have.
The tension is palpable as the DNA test results are about to be revealed. Will Mr. Rasmussen's hopes be shattered, or will he finally get the confirmation he's been waiting for? I can hardly contain myself.
Mr. Ras, you are not the father. Miss Miller.
Be respectful.
I'm sorry.
Miss Miller.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's dive right into this next wild case. It's Morris versus Thorpe, and it has more twists and turns. We're introduced to Mr. Morris, who claims that he is the father of one twin and not the other. Can you believe that? Twins with 2 different fathers? This is gonna be good.
Say, certain facts have come to light that make you believe that you fathered one of Miss Thorpe's twins and not the other. You claim a botched home DNA test separated you from your daughter, London, and you intend to rectify that issue today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Thorpe, you say Mr. Morris's claim is ridiculous.
So, Mr. Morris starts off by telling the court that he was originally led to believe that both twins were his. But then, certain circumstances made him doubt the paternity of both children. Oh boy, Here we go.
That different things happened that made me believe just London was.
We've examined this issue completely in this courtroom, and we do know it's possible for a man to be the father of one of two fraternal twins. So we do understand that. And that's basically what you're claiming today.
Yes, ma'am.
Twins with two different fathers. Now that would be shocking. Please take me back now.
Now, Miss Thorpe, on the other hand, is not having any of it. She firmly believes that Mr. Morris is the father of both twins, Paris and London, and she's not afraid to let him know that his claim is ridiculous. This is about to get heated.
Already intimate with Mr. Morris.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you went into the tit for tat. If he don't want me, I'll go be with somebody else. He's with somebody else. I'll go get somebody else.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you keep having sex with Mr. Morris?
I did. Yes, Your Honor.
So, Miss Thorpe, at some point you find out you're pregnant. Take me to that day.
I went to the doctor for like just a regular checkup.
But wait, it gets even crazier. Miss Thorpe admits that she was seeing another guy at the time she was involved with Mr. Morris. Talk about a love triangle. And to make matters worse, she got pregnant by both of them. What a hot mess.
Happy, like I went all out. I bought two of everything. It cost a lot. It was bassinets here, strollers there, car seats. Moved her into a family member house during her pregnancy. Try to make her as comfortable as possible. She hungry every day. I gotta feed her.
That's the least you could do.
So Miss Thorpe finds out she's pregnant, and Mr. Morris is over the moon with joy. He goes all out, buying baby stuff and even moving her into a family member's house to make her comfortable. But then, out of the blue, Mr. Morris decides to take a DNA test behind Miss Thorpe's back. Oh no, he didn't.
There, I was picking out baby names, you know, just ready for the whole ordeal.
You were there?
Yes.
Were you there for the birth?
Yes, ma'am. I was the first one to get to see him and hold him. She was in a lot of pain, and they was in an NICU unit. It was only 3 pounds, but it was amazing though. It was. Spent the next couple months inside the hospital. I was there every moment, every day. Outside of work, I was there.
And guess what? The DIY test comes back with a 0% probability of Mr. Morris being the father. Yikes. But hold up, drama lovers, because it turns out Mr. Morris didn't even do the test properly. What a plot twist. Instead of testing both twins, he only tested one. And to make matters worse, he used the wrong DNA samples. What a huge mistake.
Well, of course, she didn't know, so I swabbed myself, Paris, and then I used the one for the mother on the other child.
Your Honor, he told me he don't even know which child he swabbed.
No, I don't know which child ended up being tested because they only tested one. I called the DNA place after and I kind of explained the situation.
So Mr. Morris confronts Miss Thorpe with the results and all hell breaks loose. He goes on a social media rampage, posting about how the twins are not his. Talk about airing your dirty laundry for the world to see. Judge Lauren Lake is not going to be happy about this.
No, Your Honor, I was at work at the time. He actually texted me and told me that DNA test came back and that the twins were not his. At the time, I didn't respond automatically because, like I said, I was at work. So he ended up getting very upset and ended up posting it all over social media and telling everybody. He posted all over social media and told everybody that the DNA test came back and that the kids were not his.
Fast forward 18 months, and Mr. Morris decides to reach out to Miss Thorpe again. He starts having doubts about the DNA test and wants to be involved in the twins' lives. But here's the kicker, guys. Miss Thorpe isn't even sure if Mr. Morris is the father. Can you believe it?
Honestly, was asking around about how they was doing or what they was looking like. Family members and friends started to say, "You sure they're not yours?" And I had got sent a picture of my youngest daughter now, and it was side by side with London. I feel like they look just alike. They the same age.
Oh, you had two women pregnant at the same time?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you.
Now the moment we've all been waiting for, the DNA results. Both twins have been tested, and the tension in the courtroom is insane. Will Mr. Morris be the father of one twin and not the other? Or will he be the father of both? The suspense is killing us. Let's find out.
Mr. Morris, you are not the father. Mr. Morris, you are not the father.
Times Judge Lauren Lake loses control on paternity court.
You all are not off the hook, because I don't like how you all over here scowling at her when both of you lay down with her, willingly. So before you get so disgusted, you be disgusted with yourself. You end up with a relationship like this. It doesn't make any sense. Somebody hears that they're the father of my child, I better see some reaction.
Have you ever partied hard enough to wake up the next morning not knowing what went down last night? Well, let me give you a hint. You might have accidentally fathered a child, sir. What? Meet Mr. Boston and Miss Murphy, who were entangled in a complex paternity dispute over their 10-month-old son.
Yana, you have to have sex to make a baby. You know, I don't remember even doing that with her.
Lie.
You don't remember having sex with Miss
All of a
Murphy?
He's
sudden,
lying.
why am I
He was
finding
at my
out
house
that?
all the time, every day, every night, in my bed.
It is your assertion to this court that you've never been in a sexual relationship.
I mean, I'm not denying it like that, but I'm just saying.
Okay, so what are you
He's
saying?
lying. He's lying, Your Honor, see?
What a confession right at the beginning of the case! But this statement of yours, Mr. Boston, met with disbelief. However, I'm wondering how conveniently you're forgetting that they did indeed have a relationship. Well, this calls in for some drama.
How long were you in a sexual relationship?
4 months.
I wasn't even in her house for 4 months.
He's lying. He's
She
lying,
would
Your
call me
Honor.
and beg
He's
me
lying.
over there
He's
every
lying.
other night.
He was at my house
Sometimes I
every
can't,
night, spending the night
sometimes
sleeping in the
I can't
same
stay over there
bed.
alone, kicking it with them. You know, having beverages. Stayed over time, and my mom was asleep, so I couldn't get in her house.
Oh boy, the two parties can't even agree on whether they were in a committed relationship or not. How annoying! Seems like Mr. Boston was in denial. But y'all know the paternity court is a correction center for such folks. But we'll get onto that part later. So before that, here's the flashback.
When I first found out I was pregnant,
Yana,
he rubbed my belly and everything. He was smiling and
She
everything.
was pregnant in the process of me being
No,
over a
no,
family member's house.
no.
That family member came in the house and told me, well, you know somebody named Teresa? At the time, I didn't know her government name. Never knew her
Wait a
name
minute. You've been sleeping with her for 4 months and don't know her name.
Not even-
You
I
sound
know-
about crazy, Mr. Boston.
All right, now, according to Miss Murphy, who recounts Mr. Boston was happy about her pregnancy to the point of even rubbing her belly. Yet, he later claims he wasn't aware until a family member informed him. There are some mixed signals here. Feels like someone's been playing dodgeball.
When I was like 6 months, he had stopped coming over my house. For some reason, I don't know why.
I called her and
no,
talked
he
to her
didn't.
about the
No,
baby.
he
She
didn't.
was like,
No, he
well,
didn't.
who
No, he
told
didn't.
you? I'm like,
No,
well,
he
it's
didn't.
running around, you know,
No,
the
he
whole
did not.
Denville. So that's when I called her to get the facts from her out of her own mouth.
All right, now for some clarification. Mr. Gregory enters the scene, another man who had a relationship with Miss Murphy during the same time frame. He initially blocked her on Facebook when she told him about the pregnancy. What on earth is happening here?
He actually blocked me, Your Honor, because he had went back home to his girlfriend and he thought that I was gonna break up a happy home, which it wasn't nothing like that because I don't wanna break up no happy home. This is about my son.
But you just testified in court just a minute ago that when you calculated up the time during the 4-month span, it was only Mr.
It added up to
Boston.
Mr. Boston.
All right, since we are so clear about it that the father is from one of the two men, how about we just cut to the chase and focus on the DNA test results? So, all right, Judge Lake, let's read out the results and end this doubt.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Boston, you are not the father. Thank you for the truth. Because you can't get anywhere till you tell the truth. As you come of age and get older, you're gonna learn that sometimes you just gotta put your big girl panties on.
The situation spiraled out of control as the baby mama found herself in a puzzling dilemma of not knowing who the baby daddy truly was. Their casual and conflicting statements sent Judge Lake into a fierce frenzy. In a no-nonsense reality check, she served these adults a dose of hard truth.
We have no clue who his biological father is. Mr. Boston, you are going to have to make sure that paperwork does not attach itself to you because someone arbitrarily gave your name. You owe him an apology.
Sorry. It just hurt so bad.
You might have heard the story, The Boy Who Always Told Lies. Well, that ain't a story anymore, as he was faking the appearance of a lion. Miss Hunter had been faking pregnancy. His wife's lies and doubts have led Mr. Hunter to believe that the two kids he's been raising might not be his.
One of my friends photoshopped her pregnancy to put my name on it.
Back up and start from the beginning. You were faking pregnancies.
Yes.
Why?
Because I wanted to keep them.
The relationship was rocky.
Exactly.
So you said you were gonna fake like you were pregnant.
Yes.
So what did you do?
I had my friend Photoshop my pregnancy test, and she put my name on it.
Did you just hear that? Let me draw a clear picture. It all began when Mrs. Hunter decided to keep her husband by faking pregnancies, which included some clever photo manipulation. She admits to this openly, explaining it was her way of trying to hold onto their shaky relationship. I mean, wow!
Mr. Hunter, why are you denying you're the father of these children? Is it because of the fake pregnancies? What's going on?
Your Honor, I've been lied to. You know, it's not the first time. It's been about 5 times. And
5 lies.
5 lies, 5 pregnancies.
5
times.
faked pregnancies.
Yes.
Come on, woman! Your unhealthy ways of dealing with Mr. Hunter had put the alleged dad into a spiral of doubt. He had been through a lot of lies. However, now, that's a record, isn't it? And Miss Hunter didn't just stop at the fake pregnancies. She also confessed to texting other guys while she was still married. Give me a break.
Everybody's told me that they've seen her here, they've seen her there. Even my friends told me that they see her in the car with a dude in the car. He calls me and says that, yeah, I thought I just see you rolling
His
down the
friends
street.
is lying.
No, they just said they've seen her riding down the street with a guy with braids.
But here's the ultimate claim when Mr. Hunter drops a medical bombshell. He was told by a doctor that he might be sterile due to an injury. But lo and behold, Mrs. Hunter gets pregnant shortly after. Huh. Now even this had me wondering.
I got an injury and he told me I would be sterile. We have a baby a couple of months after that. I just don't think they really too much look like, you know?
He's lying.
It's not
just
that,
like him.
I mean, that's what you think, and that's in your eye.
They look just like him, and ain't nothing wrong with his penis. It works.
But buckle up for another twist. The power of almighty witnesses when it comes to serving justice. Well, Mr. Golden claimed to have seen Mrs. Hunter riding around with another guy. Of course, she vehemently denies it, but it doesn't do much to help her case, because we all remember her photoshopping skills.
I seen her riding by, and I seen somebody in the car. I'm thinking it was him in the passenger.
He ain't seen nothing. He's lying. He's making
I'm thinking it's him in the passenger.
He described
my car. He can't even see at night.
He described the bumper and everything.
I see the truck coming. I know exactly what the truck looked like.
So she was driving the truck
yes, sir.
with another guy in the passenger seat.
Yeah,
Are you sure it wasn't Mr. Hunter?
Yes.
Now that we've taken enough record of all the doubts, how about we now focus on the paternity results so we can shed some light on the baby mama's brain and give everyone here a reality check. Here are the results.
Mr. Hunter, you are her father.
Yeah.
Mr. Hunter, are you happy?
Yes, I am. I'm very happy.
You might want to show it.
Yeah, isn't it obvious? Mr. Hunter was happy. But someone had to knock some sense into the baby mama for playing all these gimmicks. How about we call in Judge Lake to do some schooling? Oh boy, buckle up, paternity peeps.
You can't keep a man by just keep getting pregnant. It doesn't make any sense because you end up with a relationship like this. Because honey, I know one thing, the day somebody hears that they're the father of my child, I better see some reaction, a happy reaction. So you all have some work to do on your marriage, and most importantly, you have work to do as parents.
So you're in a relationship and you break up, but the feelings for your significant other might have stayed, right? So how do you plan on getting his attention back? Let me give you an idea from this case. Pinning the baby on him. Well, according to Mr. Cedeno, Miss Ramirez is doing the same.
Are you trying to trap your ex
No,
with
I
this
am
baby?
not trying to trap him with this baby. He's my first love. He's my first boyfriend, my first everything. And I'm tired of him sending me mixed signals. He comes to my house. He tells me he doesn't love me. He doesn't want to be with me. He's always trying to hug up on me. He tries to sleep with me.
Did you just hear that? Miss Ramirez vehemently denies trying to ensnare Mr. Cedeno, but is deeply hurt by his inconsistent behavior. Up till this point, it feels like the alleged baby daddy has been moving back and forth between the two women. Let's see what he has to say in his defense.
So, despite the fact that you're admitting that you do still sleep with Ms. Ramirez, even though you're in another relationship?
Yes, it happened. I slipped up one night.
Just that one night?
No, all the time. These last few years, we've been sleeping together.
All right, well, we can take that for some honesty. After all, Mr. Cedeno did come clean. But here's the plaintiff presenting a laundry list of doubts, including the use of an ovulation calendar as evidence. The drama reaches its peak.
You went to visit your children and end up visiting your ex-girlfriend.
I had pretty much fallen victim that day.
How are you falling a victim when you're the one that initiates it?
Victim. You admit to having sex with her,
Yes.
but you claim the child is not yours.
Now the time and dates don't add up. There's no
The time and
physical
dates
way.
add up.
So now it's clear that their meetups weren't exactly platonic. Despite their breakup, Mr. Cedeno continues to visit Ms. Ramirez, and the evidence we just mentioned for Mr. Cedeno having doubts. Let's hear that first. So, now here's Judge Lake analyzing everything.
So she admitted that she slept with him, but did you sleep with him during the time of conception?
No, I slept with him 7 months prior, and then the next time I slept with him, I was already 4 months pregnant. So he can't be the father.
I think she got pregnant too fast. There's no physical way. And she has an obligation.
It takes one time to get pregnant, one time.
I mean, like, these people come to paternity court having all sorts of doubts, but then, like, literally forget what they've been doing behind each other's backs before wanting it to come to light. So, here's Mr. Cedeno. You're about to get the reality dose by the paternity queen.
That's also a burden on my life. Like, I have two, I already have enough trouble.
Well, the burden on your life is the fact that you can't keep your hands up when you're supposedly supposed to go visit your children. It's lack of self-control.
You really have 2 kids with the lady, sir. How about you show some empathy to her 3rd child, as you are already on the list of being the potential father. But wait, Ms. Ramirez also has a confession to make.
Part of me wanted to have another baby, and another part of me did it out of jealousy, out of spite, because of the other girl. Because of the other girl having the baby. So I think in my subconscious mind, I decided to get pregnant.
Was it your subconscious mind? Or was it your superconscious mind?
Since now we have all the paternity questions at rest, how about we focus on the paternity results? Since the motives and emotions have been cleared out, Judge Lake decides to unveil the curtain over the child's DNA test results.
When it comes to 1.5-month-old Aislinn, Mr. Cedeno, you are her father.
I told you, she is your baby.
How ruthless can someone be? Well, if you need a strong guess, you can focus on Miss Foster, who came to paternity court looking to convince Mr. Fields of being the father of her medically fragile daughter. What a shame, sir. Even now, you just didn't stop clowning.
He has done nothing. He brought her about 3 onesies and 2 pair of socks. Tiana had 3 surgeries. She had open heart, she had diaphragm and a G-tube.
And there's just been no support.
He came to the hospital probably about 4 times, but when he was there, it was just to have relations with me.
I think that's a lie, Your Honor. I think that's a lie.
Now, isn't that just sad? Being father is an entire separate case. But maybe you could have done something being a human, Mr. Fields. However, this one claim might send you off your rocker. Let's hear this part out. Oh man, what a scene!
She came to my house. I was trying to be respectable and I asked her, do you want to go in the bathroom and change your clothes? She tells me no. Take off her pants right there in front of me. I'm still sitting in the bedroom. One thing led to another.
This is the first day you met her?
First day I seen her.
You had sex that night on the night she got dropped off?
The day she got dropped off, I had sex with her.
Yep, you heard that one right. Now, Mr. Fields boldly asserts that he's not Sienna's father because Miss Foster's was already pregnant before they met. He claims to have proof to support his case. The tension between these two was nuts. You could cut it with a knife.
She was inboxing your mother and your brother, trying to chase you down because
she was
texting
my wife.
She's texting your wife, trying to get in touch with you.
I never texted his wife. I have never known her until 3 days ago.
Let's get some order.
In this heated exchange, Miss Foster and Mr. Fields confront their past relationship. Miss Foster accuses Mr. Fields of being obsessed with her, citing text messages as evidence of his continued interest. Mr. Fields denies these claims and accuses Miss Foster of making his life difficult. Isn't all that just so ironic?
Did you ever have sex without protection?
And I would admit that I'm a real person.
I have protection, Your Honor. This girl said she was on the Depo.
Never.
The Depo shot is birth control. Approximately 99% effective from not getting pregnant.
So, Mr. Fields, you came to the hospital for the birth, and why was that?
Because of the medical condition that the baby was in. You know, I didn't want to just up and leave.
Why is it that each question that the judge asks becomes so difficult and painful to hear? Well, that's mainly because of the defendant. Since we've also noticed the fact, I wonder if he's going to try to escape any lecture from the court.
When I told him that the doctor said the twin was gone, he said, suck it up and get over it.
Life goes on, man.
This ignorant attitude you're displaying today, I see through it. This cavalier, I don't care, nothing matters to me. I mean, it really is irking me because what you're acting like is so fake macho nonsense.
Yeah, what a proud failure that is. But wait, here's more you need to hear before your blood actually starts to boil. Here's the plaintiff's mother giving her own 2 cents. Let's see what she has to add. Mama rants something like this.
Because he was concerned about my grandchild, me and my husband accepted him. I sat down with him, me and my husband, and we said, do you want to be with her? If you don't want to be with her, don't think because of this baby. He said, I promise you, this is the girl I am going to marry.
I did not tell you nothing like that.
That's what he said.
All right, Mr. Fields, we know. Now take enough evidence into account and you, my friend, aren't coming to any conclusion. But what do you think? Might there be a chance that the baby mama has been faking the Virgin Mary story? How about we just open up that DNA envelope?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Fields, you are her father. I want you to hold your daughter, and I want you to help take care of your daughter and be there for her and support her. You gotta work together. Sad moments for the court when I see a father who stands before me and you've never seen your child. And then sometimes I feel like that is exactly why paternity court needs to exist. But what's obvious is this child is in this paternity limbo, going from place to place and home to home. He doesn't know who his father is because his mother doesn't know who his father is. Why are you young people running around having unprotected sex with people you knew for 2 weeks? You worrying me now. Because no, you're a beautiful young girl and I don't want you living up to your last name.
There was enough anger to go around in this court case. Ms. Colbert appeared in court, boiling like a volcano, to prove to Mr. Tubbins that he was the only man who could have fathered her twins. But Mr. Tubbins claimed there was no way he could be the father because he found out that she had slept with 2 of his family members.
Ms. Colbert, you've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to Mr. Tubbins that he is the father of your 9-month-old twins, Ariel and Adonis Colbert.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tubbins, you say you know you're not the twins' father and claim that you uncovered that Ms. Colbert slept with not 1, but 2 of your family members.
Yes, Your Honor.
Everyone wanted to know what kind of relationship Mr. Tubbins and Ms. Colbert had that would make her want to sleep with his family members. Well, guess what? They were actually married. They got married about a month after they met each other, and she claimed it was because of Mr. Tubbins' religion.
I married him 1 month after dating, and it was because of his religion issues. He wanted to become married, and because he wanted to use me. He was living in a house with a 2-year-old child with no hot water and no electricity, and I felt bad for him, and I allowed him to come to my house and stay.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he impregnates me.
In no time, accusations started to fly about, and the secrets of their relationship started to come to light. After their marriage, less than 3 weeks into the marriage, Mrs. Colbert hops out of nowhere and tells Mr. Tubbins she's pregnant, and in his mind, it just doesn't make sense.
About 3 weeks after you married her, she told you she was pregnant.
Yes.
And immediately you questioned the twins.
Yes, because she lied from the beginning. She told me that the last person that she slept with was 3 months prior before we started trying to get together.
If there's anything Ms. Colbert was sure of, it was the fact that she had the worst taste in men, and getting intimate with Mr. Tubbins was the worst mistake of her life. She claimed he was using her because she loved him and wanted to get him out of a messy position in his life.
He just used me. He was using my truck. He ain't have no way to get around, and I was helping him.
And that's who you chose to sleep with?
It was the worst mistake of my life.
Exactly.
It was the worst mistake of my life.
So you let him move in, then you married him?
Yes, I did. And that was the worst mistake that I ever made in my life.
Mr. Tubbins was still hitting the nail on the head by claiming that Ms. Colbert had slept with his family members. As you would expect, the judge was forced to ask him how he knew something like that happened. His response was nothing short of mind-blowing. He claimed she told him about it.
Yes, I did. It was 20 years before me and him got together. When me and him first started dating, I looked on his Facebook and, I was just being nosy because we starting to date. I want to investigate you. So I'm doing my investigation and I see the picture of him and a mutual friend of ours. And come to find out it's his family member. So if we're going to continue on in a relationship, Your Honor.
Newsflash, she didn't just sleep with one of his family members. At least that's what he was claiming in the courtroom. He said that when they broke up, the other family member came to him and told him that if he had mentioned he wanted to get married to her, he would have advised him against it because he also slept with her.
Did this family member say he had also slept with her?
Yes.
So there's one family member from 20 years ago ago, and then this family member?
Yes.
Did she ever tell you about the second family member?
Never.
Miss Colbert, did you sleep with the second family member?
I wouldn't even know what he talking about.
Then, not only that,
It was beyond a mess in the courtroom, with Ms. Colbert and Mr. Tubbins yelling at the top of their voices. Now, Ms. Colbert was voicing out her complaints to the judge and telling her that all the while they were together. Mr. Tubbins never told his family members about her or her babies. Trust me, she was furious about it.
He hid my pregnancy. He didn't want nobody to know that we was even getting married. Why don't you be honest? You call yourself a man of God. Be a man of God and be honest, okay? Don't sit up here and try to paint me out like I'm no tramp when I was nice enough to let you in my home when you ain't have
you
nothing.
asked me to come. You asked me.
I'm gonna ask you.
Even the judge was about to lose her temper with Mr. Tubbins. He had no evidence to show that the twins were not his children. All his doubts rested on the fact that he felt Ms. Colbert slept with his family members. To make things even worse, he had never seen the twins since they were born.
There'd be one in August. He ain't met him. He ain't looked at him. He ain't bought him a
Hold on. They're about to be 1 year old.
Yes.
And he has never
looked at
seen them?
I take care of my kids. I have 4 kids that I take care of.
He wasn't making any sense to the judge anymore, so he decided to raise the argument about how the conception dates for the twins didn't add up to him. But Ms. Colbert was beyond ready for that fight, trust me.
The doctor said that she conceived on November 20th. We didn't have sex until November 30th.
No, we didn't.
Your Honor.
We had sex a couple days before the 28th, and then we had sex for the second time on the 28th. So we had sex 2 times in a week.
The moment of truth was finally here, but the air was thick with uncertainty. What would the outcome be? Is he the father, or has Ms. Colbert been lying all this time? Time to see what the future holds for them.
Mr. Tubbins, you are the twins' father.
I'm sorry, I'll take care of them, but I have reason for doubt. I have reason for doubt.
Oh,
I'll
really?
take care of them.
Okay, whatever. Whatever.
Before you start acting silly in here off of emotion, you haven't even met your twins. You have 2 beautiful babies.
Ms. Luce was not here to joke. She was suing the defendant for a certain amount she used in taking care of her child. She also claimed there was no need for a DNA test because she was beyond positive that the child belonged to Mr. Zuniga. Mr. Zuniga, on the other hand, believed he was not the father and knew who the actual father was.
Ms. Luce, you are suing the defendant for $2,716.86 of back child care expenses for your son, Marley.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say there's no need for a paternity test because you're certain he is your baby's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Zuniga, you say you don't owe her a dime because you're not her son's father. You've petitioned the court for a lie detector test.
Now, Ms. Luce took to the floor and talked about how Mr. Zuniga abandoned her and her child for no reason. She claimed after the first 4 months of having her baby, he was beyond excited and didn't want anything more than to be the father of the child. But all that changed.
For the first 4 months of my son's life, he was there. He stepped up. He was a man. He wanted to be his father. He was excited about everything. And then all fell through. He abandoned us. I had to take care of my son alone on my own. I had to pay for every little bit of the expenses, all the diapers, all the wipes, every single piece of clothing he needed. I have the receipts here.
Mr. Zuniga was trying to counter Ms. Luce's accusations, which stated that he had not done anything for either her or her child. He claimed she was lying and that most of the money he spent on her and her child, but Ms. Luce came prepared with receipts showing she had been taking care of her baby by herself.
He might have put money into the little things he needed then, but he didn't do anything else after that.
And you've presented to the court evidence of expenses you've had to incur.
By myself.
Including diapers, Similac, baby food, feeding set, bibs, onesies, all things a baby needs.
He was trying all he could to paint Ms. Luce as an unfaithful woman who liked the jump from one man to the next. But trust me, that did not last long. Ms. Luce admitted she did sleep with other men, but that was after their relationship had ended.
Well, I found out that she never really stayed in relationships long. She liked to jump from guy to guy.
Miss Luce, were you sleeping with other men when you were sleeping with Mr. Zuniga?
No, not one. I did sleep with a few men after him, but I was only sleeping with him when we were together.
Okay,
but
Mr. Zuniga, do you have any other children?
No, ma'am. I've always thought I was sterile.
Here's where things escalate to the next level. Mr. Zuniga gave an instance where a random woman walked up to him and told him that Ms. Luce had been sleeping with her husband whenever Mr. Zuniga was away for work. Trust me, the courtroom was shocked to hear that revelation.
She was cheating on me the whole time with her husband, and he looks just like the father. Red hair and blue eyes.
Okay, so the gentleman he's talking about, Ms. Luce, have you had a relationship with this man?
I did have sex with him. There was the relationship, but that was after we split.
Well, the big question on Judge Lauren's mind was how long they had been together. I mean, if you ask me, they should have been together for quite some time to have this kind of mess. That was not the case. They had been in a relationship for only 2 weeks.
Did you say 2.5 weeks?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as I know, she could have been pregnant before I even got with her.
Why are you young people running around having unprotected sex with people you knew for 2 weeks?
The most shocking thing then went on to happen in the courtroom. Ms. Luce had a witness who was going to back her claim that Mr. Zuniga was the father. The witness was none other than Mr. Zuniga's mom. I'm pretty sure you didn't see that coming, did you? Well, she sure wasn't here to take her son's side.
I love my son, don't get me wrong. I really honestly love my son, and I would be on my son's side, but his reasonings are crazy to me. What makes you have a baby? Sex. What did they do? Have unprotected sex. I submitted pictures earlier to the courts of how much they look alike.
It was no longer a battle between Ms. Luce and Mr. Zuniga. Ms. Luce had Mr. Zuniga's mother backing her up so good, you would honestly think his mother was actually Ms. Luce's mother.
I drove there because I didn't believe the kid was going to come
Oh,
out.
no. Your Honor, can I stop
When
for a
I
minute?
drove there, I wanted to validate that he
Oh,
would be my
no.
kid. I got there, and he looked nothing like me. He
No.
looked a lot like that
So
kid
when you heard the
she
baby was
cheated on.
coming, you drove 3.5 hours. You said, I want to go see this baby.
No, Your Honor.
Yes.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
I did at first, and then she lost the paperwork.
Judge Lauren had seen enough of the drama in Mr. Zuniga and Ms. Luce's situation. It's finally time to reveal the truth and clear the doubts that were flying around in the courtroom. Who do you believe the father of the child is?
Mr. Zuniga, you are his father.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. You need to tell him you're sorry.
But look at him.
You tell him you're sorry. Look at him. Yes, look at him. Maybe that's yours.
But you lied.
Okay, but look at you.
Yes, I may
All right,
have
we're
lied
getting over
compared
that.
to
We're getting
whatever
over
test
that.
says it. He is your son.
Mr. Hudson was beyond furious with Ms. Bridges. Why? She led him to believe that he was the biological father of her son, then went on to break his heart by telling him she slept with another man. Ms. Bridges didn't deny the fact that she was intimate with another man, but she had every reason to believe that Mr. Hudson was her child's father.
Mr. Hudson, you claim the defendant led you to believe you were her son, Jacory's biological father, then dropped a bomb and admitted she slept with someone else.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're in court to prove you are not her son's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bridges, you admit to sleeping with another man, but claim that you have no doubt Mr. Hudson is your child's biological father.
Now, Ms. Bridges and Mr. Hudson had been together for 5 solid years. Around this period was when Ms. Bridges got pregnant, and Mr. Hudson automatically believed he was the father, because at the time, she was the only one she was sleeping with, or so he was led to believe.
So you were there throughout the pregnancy,
Yes,
and you were
ma'am.
taking care of her. You all lived together.
Yes, ma'am.
You had a relationship.
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
you thought this baby was yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you at the birth?
Yes, Your Honor. I was at the hospital. I took her to doctor's appointments. I was there. I cut the umbilical cord, Your Honor. I even signed the birth certificate on the day of the birth.
The truth bomb couldn't have picked a better time to be dropped, trust me. At one of their son's birthday parties, Mr. Hudson and Ms. Bridges got into a heated argument, and that's when the truth jumped out of Ms. Bridges' mouth that she slept with another man.
And so, Mr. Hudson, you say this bomb she dropped. When did she drop this bomb?
We had an argument, and that's when she came and she was telling me how I might not be the father and she had done these things. But I paid no attention to them because I am the father. I'm supposed to be the father. I'm here.
Since Mr. Hudson found out that his girlfriend cheated on him, he hasn't been in the child's life at all. It's not like he didn't want to be in his son's life, but he claimed he had no way of contacting his child because Ms. Bridges wouldn't let him see the baby.
I have no way of getting in contact with him. I can't talk to him. I can't see him.
He knows my auntie number. I gave it to him plenty of times. You just making things up just not to be in the baby's life.
So is it your inability to get in contact with the child really what's holding you back, or is it the fact that you don't truly know?
I mean, Ms. Bridges admitted to cheating, so there was a high chance that there were possibly 2 different men who could be the fathers of the child. The big question now is, what's making her so certain that the child belongs to Mr. Hudson and not the guy she slept with?
I've been there, correct. I took care of her when the time when she had no one else to take care of her.
Yes, and I
I
appreciate
took
it
the part.
for everything.
I did everything. She didn't have to do nothing but go to school. I paid all the bills. I worked 2 jobs
Yes.
at the age of 18.
He feels like you led him to believe he was the father. father.
Mr. Davis, the man she had a sexual relationship with outside of her initial relationship with Mr. Hudson, walks into the courtroom and his mouth is filled with so many truth bombs, believe me. The crazy thing was that Mr. Davis also thought he was the father of her child.
Me and Miss Bridges met. We hung out for a couple of months. We ended up having unprotected sex around about 3 times. I didn't know that she was pregnant at all until I looked on Facebook one day, like a year later, and I see a picture of her son. And immediately I think her son looks like my nephew. About a year after that, she came to me. She's like, oh, well, can you tell me the days that...
Now, Ms. Bridges couldn't get her story right with the judge, and it was really starting to piss her off. First, she claimed she knew for a fact that Mr. Hudson was the child, but she left out the part where she also made it known to Mr. Davis that he could also be a potential father.
But I mean, if you know that short, and what was the point of coming to me and saying anything at all?
Because, like, I was just adding up the dates to see how. I was just adding up the dates. He said it was wrong.
Okay, but then you came right back to me.
I came to you.
You came right back to me, and when I asked you why you asked the second time, you're like...
Hold your breath now, because the DNA test results are ready to be revealed. The tension was escalating, with emotions running high, and the truth was about to hit like a plot twist. Who's the real baby daddy? Let's see.
Mr. Hudson, you are not his father. Mr. Davis, you are not his father. This courtroom is in shock. This is not what anyone expected today.
Mr. Page was beyond upset in the courtroom. Trust me, he was willing to bring down the roof on everyone if he was given the chance. His ex-fiancée cheated on him, moved his son to another state, and decided to marry the man she cheated on him with. To make things worse, she didn't deny it.
Mr. Page, you claim your ex-fiancée and the mother of your 3-year-old son cheated on you and then took your son to another state to marry the man she cheated with. Now you say Miss Sutton also has a 2-year-old daughter whom she claims is yours, even though her husband has been raising her as his own.
Now, Mr. Page was asked to talk about why he and his ex-fiancée split in the first place. The sentence that dropped from his mouth would make you understand the intensity of his frustration.
My ex-fiancée, Alicia, cheated on me and moved to another state with my son. And then...
So wait, back me up. Back up for a second, Mr. Page.
Can I start?
You're together.
We was together, Your Honor.
You're engaged.
Yes.
And then you found out she was cheating.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
She said she her girlfriend.
To make things worse, Ms. Sutton, who happened to be the ex-fiancé in the picture, wasn't denying any of the claims. The big question is how they both got themselves into such a messy situation. Ms. Sutton had her own side of the story to tell, and it sure seemed like Mr. Page was no saint either.
Let me hear from you from the beginning, Ms. Sutton.
First of all, we have a 3-year-old son, and yes, he was there at the birth of my son. But the reason why I cheated, because you was never home. You want to do what you want to do, smoking, drinking. If I'm hearing you out doing all these things, why I can't go do it?
Ms. Sutton claimed that she was getting information from people that suggested that Mr. Page was doing some funny business with women while he claimed to be out working. What was even more mind-blowing about where she got the information was that she got the news from Mr. Page's friends.
He's in other girls' face and all that stuff. I said, okay, you can be in other females' face, but what is he doing with these females? Oh, you don't even want me to tell you.
That's
how they go. You don't even want me to tell you. If your homeboy is saying you don't even want me to tell, that means you sleeping with her. You sitting up here acting like I was such a hoe and I cheated.
Him about this?
These two couldn't stand each other one bit. In his defense, Mr. Page claimed that he was an unhappy person in their relationship, and that when he was sad, he would go out to drink his sorrows away. But Ms. Sutton was hell-bent on believing that anytime he went out, he always went to sleep with someone else.
So now I just...
Okay, so that gives you a reason to cheat. If you unhappy?
I went out and drank late night. I went out and drank with my son.
So you were out hanging out,
yes,
and you were drinking, but you weren't cheating.
Yes,
now,
never cheated.
Miss Sutton, when you heard was that he was out sleeping around.
I didn't believe it at first, because I want to find out on my own. I'm not just finna believe no females.
Here's where things start to get intense. Mr. Page was already having his suspicions that Miss Sutton had been messing around with someone new. He wasn't sure who it was, so he decided to find out. His detective instincts were pretty good because he found the man who she had been sleeping with.
My fiancé Alicia Sutton, he started saying right there, he said, I'm sorry. That should never happen. I said, did you sleep with Alicia? He said, yes, I did.
Okay.
At that time, my one tear dropped in my eyes.
Just one?
One tear just dropped. I promise you. A tear dropped in my eyes. My heart felt like it was in palm of my hand.
This case was taking a spin for the worst. All you could feel for Mr. Page was sadness because Ms. Sutton really did him dirty. Moving on, Mr. Cooper wasn't just her new man. Oh, trust me, he was way more than that. They were married, and to make things worse, he was claiming he was the father of her baby.
The last 2 years, I've taken care of this baby. I've done everything I could. She's mine. I feel it in my heart that she's mine. You know, despite what happened between Alicia and I and her ex-fiance, I accept that. I'm sorry for that. But when Alicia told me she was pregnant, you know, I was excited, you know.
No, you was not excited, because when
Yes, he was excited.
When I told you, you told me that this child is not yours.
The stakes were high for both Mr. Page and Ms. Sutton. On one side, Mr. Page was desperately hoping the baby was going to be his. On the other hand, Ms. Sutton was hoping the baby belonged to her husband so she could save her marriage. Well, let's see who goes home with butterflies in their stomach.
Mr. Page, you are her father. No emotion. What are you feeling?
I always want a precious daughter. That's my first daughter in the family, and I'm gonna love her and raise her.
Mr. Cooper, I see you feeling very emotional. I know this wasn't the news you wanted.
She's still mine.
Over my dead body, that's my daughter.
This one had it all: denial, deception, and a father fighting for his place in his daughter's life. It started with Ms. Miller, who was ready to prove once and for all that her ex, Scotty Rasmussen, was not the father of her 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee. She had been battling in court for years, filing petition after petition for a DNA test, but every single request denied.
Ms. Miller, you're here to prove to your ex-boyfriend, Scotty Rasmussen, that he is not the father of your 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee Rasmussen.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you've been in an ongoing court battle over custody and have petitioned the court several times for a DNA test.
Yes, Your Honor.
Meanwhile, Rasmussen stood firm, insisting that Miller was only doing this out of pure hatred. He had been in his daughter's life since birth, driving hundreds of miles every other weekend just to see her. He paid his child support, he showed up, and now, suddenly Miller wanted to erase him from his child's life? Not happening.
Rasmussen, you claim the real reason Ms. Miller is denying your Zaylee's father is because she hates you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say you've been there for your daughter her entire life, and you're here today to prove you are Zaylee's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
But Miller disagrees. She doesn't hate Rasmussen, she just doesn't trust him. She insists that Rasmussen's actions are not born of the responsibilities of fatherhood. Miller tells the court that Rasmussen has an ulterior motive that drives his actions.
Tell me what you believe to be true in this situation.
Yes, I was very mad at him for being a cheater. He cheated on me through pretty much our whole relationship. No, I do not hate him because of that. I lost my respect for him, yes.
He says this is about visitation, too. He loves his daughter, but you don't want him to have the visitation. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then came the bombshell. Miller wasn't just questioning paternity out of nowhere. She had a reason. When Zaylee was conceived, she claimed Rasmussen was nowhere near her. He was in Vegas. And her? She was with someone else.
What is this really about for you? Why is it you don't want him involved in this child's life?
Because I still believe that he's not hers.
Okay, and listen, that's what we're here for. I want to get down to the bottom of the truth.
Yeah.
You don't believe he's her biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, but it didn't end there. Rasmussen swore that they never truly broke up. As far as he knew, they were together during that time. Not only had he signed the birth certificate, but he was also at the birth, at every doctor's appointment, and every milestone. His name was on every important document. And yet, here they were, 3 years later, and Miller was saying something different.
So you're on the birth certificate.
Yep, I was at...
You're at the birth?
I was at the birth. I was at every single doctor's appointment. When Zaylee was born, you were at a doctor's appointment. I was at home because I had to work that day. I was at my job as a cashier. I got a phone call and I answered it. They said she was going into labor.
Miller detailed what she went through in their relationship. According to her story, Rasmussen cheated on her repeatedly throughout the entirety of their relationship. They had been engaged to marry, and now they can't stand each other.
What was the problem exactly? You let him sign the birth certificate.
I gave my daughter my last name.
Because we were engaged. And I thought we were going to get married. I thought we were going to have a happy life and raise our daughter together until about 3 months after she was born. One of his friends told me everything that he was doing throughout our entire relationship, cheating on me.
Judge Lake was listening, but you could see it, the irritation building up in her eyes. Because let's be honest, if a man is paying child support, traveling long distances, and actively trying to be in his child's life, why would a mother fight so hard to push him away? And if she was so sure he wasn't the father, why let him believe otherwise for years?
All of of this is happening and this man is continuing to step up to the plate like he has a daughter on the way, like he has a newborn baby girl, even through the breakup, you all are making custody and visitation arrangements, but you know deep down there's another possible father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why wait so long to tell him?
For Rasmussen, Zaley is his baby, and there is no convincing him otherwise. He had fought the courts to have the right to be in his daughter's life. Over time, he had built trust and can now create memories with his daughter.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Every time I get her, I try to make the best I can out of it. Even if I don't have any money from, having to put gas in the car and pay the child support and everything. I try to do as much as I can with her, whether it be something as little as, going to the park or going fishing or going to an amusement attraction.
But if there's one thing Judge Lake can't stand, it's nonsense in her courtroom. And today, she had absolutely no patience for it. The courtroom went silent as she picked up the results. This was it. This was what everyone was waiting for.
Mr. Rasmussen, you are not the father.
Jeremy Boston walked into the courtroom with confidence, convinced he had this case in the bag. According to him, there was absolutely no way he was the father of 10-month-old Tristan. He wants the court to set him free.
Mr. Boston, you have dragged the defendant into court today because you say you have undeniable proof that there is no way possible that you are the biological father of the defendant's 10-month-old son, Tristan. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
However, Teresa Murphy, the child's mother, was done with his excuses. She was here for one reason only, to put an end to the lies and force him to take responsibility, and Judge Lake, she gets straight into it immediately.
Ms. Murphy, you say that you are tired of Mr. Boston's lies and you want him to stop denying that he's Tristan's father. You believe the DNA results will be your proof today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
At first, Jeremy played it cool, acting like the whole case was ridiculous. He claimed he never even slept with Teresa. That alone was enough to raise eyebrows, because why would a man who supposedly never had sex with a woman be dragged to paternity court? But it didn't take long before his story started crumbling. As soon as Judge Lake pressed him, he switched it up. Okay, maybe he had slept with Teresa, but only with protection. That's when things started spiraling.
Boston, what is your proof that you are not Tristan's father?
Your Honor, you have to have sex to make a baby. And I don't believe in, I don't remember even doing that well.
Lies.
You don't remember having sex with Miss Murphy?
He's lying. He was at my house all the time, every day, every night in my bed.
Teresa wasn't about to let him rewrite history. She fired back, making it clear they were more than just a one-time fling. According to her, Jeremy was at her house all the time, sleeping in her bed, acting like a man who knew exactly what he was doing. But Jeremy, he kept trying to downplay it, saying he was just hanging out, sometimes crashing on her floor when he couldn't get into his own home.
You weren't in a committed relationship.
No.
Yes, we were.
She didn't turn the friendship into a whole marriage.
OMG, like for real, really? No, that ain't how it went.
Miss Murphy.
Yes, Your Honor.
So how long were you in this sexual relationship?
4 months.
I wasn't even in her house for 4 months.
He's lying. He's lying, Your Honor.
Teresa wasn't just fighting for child support, she was fighting for the truth. She recalled how Jeremy reacted when he first found out she was pregnant. He wasn't shocked or angry. In fact, she said he was happy, rubbing her belly, smiling, and playing the part of a man who knew exactly what was going on. But the moment things got real, he disappeared.
How did it go?
When I moved to Danville, I bumped into Mr. Boston. We exchanged numbers. After that, he started coming over my house, spending the night, and we had sexual encounters plenty of times on several occasions in my bedroom. When I first found out I was pregnant, he was happy. He came over to my house. He's like, oh.
Now, if that wasn't enough, Jeremy then made a claim so absurd that even the audience couldn't hold back their laughter. He admitted he had been with Teresa for months, but insisted he never even knew her real name. That's right, he claimed he only knew her by a nickname. 4 months of intimacy, and yet, according to him, her full name was a mystery. It was a crazy claim, and the judge let him know.
She was pregnant in the process of me being over a family member's house.
No.
That family member came in the house, told me, well, you know somebody named Teresa? At the time, I didn't know her government name. Only thing I knew was
He's
Bookie.
lying.
I knew her by
Honor.
Bookie. I never knew Teresa Murphy. Never knew her name was Teresa.
Oh my God.
Even in Chicago.
He tried to twist the story into something completely different. He claimed he found out about the pregnancy from someone else, someone who casually mentioned it in passing. According to him, he had no idea and wasn't even around when the baby was supposedly conceived. The timing didn't add up, he insisted. It was all just a big misunderstanding.
What happened when you found out Bookie was pregnant?
I say, well, congratulations. Tell her congratulations. Who was the father? So the lady she's saying, you the father of this child. Oh yeah, so how far along is she?
2 months.
I wasn't over your house for long. For a little while.
Oh, you're saying so there was a span of time that you didn't go over there at all?
Exactly.
The court already located one of the potential fathers and brought him as a witness. If Teresa said that no one else could be the father, then it makes sense to eliminate each potential father according to the level of involvement.
We've determined that you, in fact, have had a relationship with Ms. Murphy.
A sexual relationship.
Just a sexual relationship. Take me back to the day Ms. Murphy told you she was pregnant.
She texted me on Facebook and told me she was pregnant. I never talked to her again. Like, deleted everything. So I blocked her. So I blocked her.
And yet, the back and forth continued. At this point, Judge Lake had heard enough. The contradictions, the weak excuses, the blatant denial, it was all too much. The DNA results showed that neither of the men was the father of the child, but before the results, she gave them a piece of her mind.
And when I conceived, I didn't talk to neither one of them, but I had Mr. Boston information as far as his birthday, his social security number, and everything.
Y'all gonna learn something today. Y'all gonna learn something in this courtroom today. Out here having sex.
This was a circus from the start, a paternity case so chaotic that it felt like a soap opera happening in real time. It all started with Ms. Prowell, a woman standing before the court, claiming she needed childcare expenses covered, but first, they had to figure out which of the 3 men was her baby's father. Yes, 3. Even Judge Lake had to take a moment to process that one.
Ms. Prowell, now you're asking the court to award you $470 in back child expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Should men be identified as your biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
And right there in the defendant's box stood Mr. Morton, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Morton believed he was about to clear his name. According to him, their relationship had started with sparks, an ice skating date that never actually made it to the rink. Instead, they went straight back to his place. Fast forward a few months, and the romance crumbled faster than stale bread. Ms. Prowell had been with someone else, not just someone, multiple someones.
Mr. Morton, you say that the list of men Ms. Prowell has slept with has led you all here to paternity court. You believe it'll be proven today that you are her baby's biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
What's you most about this situation?
Well, in this situation, her pretty much against the world.
But here's the kicker. Morton wasn't exactly a saint either. Prowell accused him of sneaking around with another woman. What is the evidence? Right there on Twitter, buried in messages too explicit to be read in court. Morton, of course, denied everything. And when Prowell admitted to snooping through his phone, he flipped. Suddenly the argument shifted. Who cheated first? Who was the real villain? Who had the right to be angry?
Ms. Prowell, you relationship with Mr.
Yes.
And going pretty well?
Yes, the relationship was in the beginning. Now, a couple of months in, there's another woman.
What evidence do you have of that?
On his Twitter, talking to a young lady, saying these things that I...
Actual things?
Yes.
Mr. Gaddis, the second possible father, wasn't even in court, but his video statement was enough to turn stomachs. He openly admitted to sleeping with Prowell, bragging about the chemistry at work and how good she looked in her uniform. And if that wasn't enough, he didn't even know she was in a relationship. When he finally found out about the baby, he laughed it off.
Were you cheating with Mr. Gaddis or not?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
All right. You also believe he could potentially be your child?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Gaddis was not able to offer a video statement.
Sex was great. I ended up hooking up again after that.
But then came Mr. Lowry, the third man, another co-worker, another one-night fling. And what did Prowell have to say about this? She admitted it was out of spite. Morton had been messing around, so she figured, why not? 2 can play that game.
Also a third person?
Yes, Your Honor.
How did that come to pass?
Mr. Lowry, we also met, and do want to say for the record, very remorseful. That was totally out of spite. That's what it was. I did it because mess around with someone else.
Prowell told the judge that she now recognizes her mistake because 2 wrongs don't make a right. 2 wrongs? This is 3 wrongs, and counting. When Mr. Lowry took the stand, he revealed the extent of their intimacy.
Thank you for being here. What do you have to add to this? You were intimate with Ms. Prowell, so you understand be her child's father as well.
My problem with this is sex more than once. Why wasn't I hit up for this? Like, why weren't I called?
Your Honor.
I'm talking now.
That's when Judge Lake had enough. 3 men, all co-workers, a whirlwind of hookups, secrets, and lies. And now, Prowell stood before the court trying to dictate which of these men she wanted as the father, as if that was up to her. Judge Lake wasn't having it.
What do you mean? How would you know? I have 2 nephews.
So how do you
they
change
both
it up?
love
Hold on 1 second, hold on. You got a young man that's passionate about knowing whether he fathered a child. No.
Mr. Lowry was insistent that he should have been told. He revealed that he grew up without a father and wouldn't want that for a child who is potentially his. Prowell's argument that he didn't want him to be the child's father stunned even Mr. Morton.
How would would you know that if you never told?
Gaddis, is he compassionate? Is Mr. Gaddis
He's not
compassionate?
even here, so why?
No, but you know, since you don't know
say.
me, but you know him, so Mr. Morton compassionate? Like, since
All
like
he
the devil,
cares about
you know?
is his video game.
Passionate, though. Answer the question.
Prowl brought receipts showing that none of the potential fathers had ever contributed anything to the child's upkeep, but Judge Lake stood up for Mr. Lowry. If he didn't know that he could be the father, how could he contribute? And then she goes in hard on her.
I better hear you take responsibility yourself. You and your baby are today. I'm not saying they got all of you silly because you're teenagers. You have no business even having babies. If you don't require that they protect themselves, guess who is the that can end up pregnant?
Mr. Johnson was sure he was the father. He had signed the birth certificate, been there for the birth, and even traveled to be by Miss Owens' side. But now he was in paternity court, blindsided by the revelation that another man, one who was now deceased, could have been the real father.
You say you were there when Dakari was born, and you even signed his birth certificate. Ms. Owens slept with another man.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Miss Owens? She was standing there, shifting uncomfortably, saying she just hoped the baby wasn't the other man's because, well, he wouldn't be around to raise him anyway. Judge Lake had seen a lot of cases, but this one, it was pure chaos.
Ms. Owens, you claim that at the time you believed the baby was Mr. Johnson's, but as he got older, you were worried that he looked like Mr. Tyson, the other father in question. Now, since he's not...
Johnson felt played. First, she told him he was the father. Then, when their son started to grow, she suddenly saw another man's face staring back at her. And just like that, she flipped. Maybe he wasn't the father after all. But what really got under his skin? She knew she had been with another man, yet she let him believe the baby was his.
Why is this so important to you?
Well, I feel like I've been misled, you know? She was telling me, you know, one minute that father, then the next minute, a couple years down the line, that I'm not the father, you know? I don't know what to think.
You lying.
Why am I
Ms.
lying?
Owens did...
And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, it did. Johnson was furious. The woman he trusted had led him straight into this mess, and now she was there acting like none of it was a big deal. He didn't hold back, throwing insult after insult. And Miss Owens? She wasn't about to let him get the last word. She fired right back, and before long, the courtroom turned into a battleground of finger-pointing, yelling, and name-calling.
Am I correct?
Yes.
You got pregnant? He was at the hospital. Mr. Johnson...
I paid for him to come to the hospital. I bought his ticket. I paid for him to come back.
Where's all this coming from, though, man?
And I paid to go to Chicago.
Ms. Owens insists that Mr. Johnson didn't help out with the baby despite his claims. According to her, his presence and absence meant basically the same thing. That's a hard one. However, Johnson had a weapon in his arsenal, name-calling.
Trying to understand not just Ms. Owens' side, but your side as well, Mr. Johnson. Were you helping her raise the baby? Were you support?
First feed him
The
while she was laying fat.
Wait.
Judge Lake quickly brought the focus back to the innocent child who was caught between the two warring adults. Mr. Johnson gladly revealed that he hoped the child was his, and that having signed the birth certificate, he hoped to continue taking care of the baby despite having doubts.
Believe like this might not be my baby, so I went along with it. I believed, I trusted her. I had trusted in her. She told me that I was the baby's father, you know, and that's exactly what it was.
She said you did have doubts. He had doubts, he just a little bit, I guess.
It turned out that after Tyson's death, Ms. Owen had turned her focus on Mr. Johnson, despite the possibility of Tyson being the father. Mr. Johnson wasn't very pleased, and the case went from 0 to 100 real fast.
No, not Tyson, him. It didn't even, my son was like, my son.
I think that he could have been your
I remember that he hit it. You ain't gotta tell me that. Wait a minute.
Miss Owens had already reached out to the other man's family. His mother was about to enter the courtroom, hoping to find out if this child was her grandson, but before she could even enter the court, Ms. Owens and Mr. Johnson were at each other's throats again.
Okay.
How could that not be in your mind?
Little one, can you calm down?
Sex with him.
Pipe down, little one.
You had sex with him. How could that not be in your mind? You ain't funny or none of that, though.
Judge Lake had had enough. Her voice cut through the noise like a knife. She didn't just demand order, she commanded it, and then she let loose. She called them both out for their childish, reckless behavior. This wasn't a game. This wasn't some drama they could laugh about later. A child's entire future was hanging in the balance, and here they were, acting like fools in a courtroom.
Let's get this straight. I want to address in the order I want to address. Here, acting silly. You other act like this is a stage play, and there.
This courtroom wasn't ready for the storm brewing inside it. Tensions were thick, emotions high, and at the center of it all, a fragile, undeniable truth waiting to be revealed. On one side, a teenage girl and her mother are adamant that young Anthony Taylor was the father of little Osiris.
What stands stands before me is a cave of babies, teenagers. This is upsetting. With that said, Miss Sism, you and your teenage daughter, Destiny, are here to prove that Anthony Taylor is the father of your daughter's 8-month-old son, Osiris. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the other hand, Anthony's mother firmly believed that her son had nothing to do with the child. For her son is still a child and was being accused of serious allegations. Also, she claimed Destiny had other boys besides her son, Anthony.
Ms. Riley, you stand before me claiming that you are 100% positive your son is not the child's father and have insisted on a DNA test from the moment you heard Ms. Sism was pregnant. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Destiny's mother started off things all emotional, but don't be deceived. These women are not here to joke. From the get-go, they started pointing fingers. Anthony's mother, Ms. Riley, claimed she had no idea her son was involved with Destiny. She swore Destiny was just a friend of her daughter, nothing more.
That Anthony is the father.
I'm 2,000% certain, Your Honor, that Anthony is the father of Osiris.
And you are emotional already.
Yep. I have a grandson that's 8 months old. He needs his father. I lost my dad when I was 2, so I know what it's like not to have a father. But I'm not here because of me. I'm not here because of Destiny. I'm here because of Osiris.
But as the heated accusations flew back and forth, one thing became painfully clear. These weren't just two families fighting over paternity. This was a battle of blame, regret, and shattered trust. Judge Lake had seen a lot, but she wasn't even prepared for the chaos about to unfold.
My son was going to, how you going to tell me what's a lie? Because, Your Honor, they was having sex in her house. You didn't even care where your daughter was. What type of parent is she? If she don't tell them, she told them. She told them.
Hold on, let's get some order.
The story, it was as messy as they come. Destiny, barely out of childhood herself, had been sneaking around, seeing Anthony behind her mother's back. But she wasn't the only one kept in the dark. Ms. Riley was too. That is, until she started noticing something strange. Destiny wasn't just hanging out, she was spending nights at their house, in Anthony's bed.
Your Honor, I see her walking with another guy. My son at school, this is before Destiny said anything about you was pregnant. Next thing you know, I find out my son come telling me that she told him that she pregnant. How is that? You just came around 2 weeks ago? And he was messing with another girl at the time.
One mother pointed fingers at the other fired right back. It wasn't just about paternity anymore, it was about parenting, responsibility, and two young people who had played a dangerous game, one that led to an innocent child being caught in the middle.
Here for it to get this DNA. It's not my grandbaby. Okay, don't claim him. You ain't claim him 8 months. Don't claim him now. Y'all ain't did nothing for him. I've been taking care of this baby. They don't do nothing for him. That's a lie. They don't do nothing for him. Sure don't.
All right.
It's not my grandbaby.
It's not my grandbaby. Ladies.
My daughter had.
Then, there was the pregnancy bombshell. Destiny, convinced from the start that Anthony was the father, had no doubts. But Ms. Riley wasn't buying it. She had seen Destiny with another boy around the same time. As far as she was concerned, the math isn't mathing.
Destiny, where were you and Anthony having sex? In her house?
Yes.
While Miss Riley was home?
Yes, Your Honor. She knew I was there because I get off work. Anthony would be like, my mom says you can come over, and I say okay. I would go over there. I would come in, say hi, Miss Brenda.
Destiny recounted how their unprotected intimacy led to pregnancy. According to her story, Anthony was ecstatic about the baby, and his mother had even given her guidelines and support, only to suddenly switch up on her.
Got you pregnant. How do you find out?
I had my period. I ended up throwing up. Anthony said, you should go to the hospital because I think you're pregnant. I went and they said I was pregnant. When I found out, I went to her house. And when I walked through the door and I had my papers.
When Anthony was brought to the court, he backed up Destiny's story, but the tensions continued. When the judge confirmed that Anthony was the father, Destiny and her mother began jubilating, and the judge lost it.
Mr. Taylor, you are his father.
Marcel Scott walked into the courtroom like he owned the place. Cool, calm, and confident. Maybe a little too confident for a man who had just been exposed to fathering 7 kids with 4 different women. But today he was here to clear his name. Because according to him, there was absolutely no way he was the father of Miss Kalon's 4-month-old daughter.
Mr. Welcome back.
How you doing?
Now, you previously appeared in this court, determined that you now have 7 children by 4 women. You're here today denying you fathered the...
Miss Kalon, on the other hand, wasn't buying any of it. When she first told Scott she was pregnant, he had been excited, thrilled even. But just a few months before the baby arrived, poof, He was gone. No calls, no texts, nothing. And now, here he was, trying to wiggle out of responsibility.
Ms. Kalan, you claim the plaintiff was excited when he found out you were pregnant, but only a few months before you gave birth, Mr. Scott disappeared.
Number, everything.
You are...
Scott, with a smirk that was just begging to be wiped off his face, had his own version of events. He and Kaylon had met online and chatted for a few weeks, and when she finally visited him, they had a good time. But here's where it got ugly, really ugly. That very first night, while she slept peacefully beside him, Scott got suspicious. Why? Because her phone hadn't rung all day. So, what did he do? Oh, just the most rational thing ever. He hacked into her phone.
Please share with the court how you up in a relationship with the defendant.
Well, Your Honor, start off with, we chatted for about 3 weeks, I'll say 3 weeks to a month, something like that, so she came to visit.
Inspector Gadget, indeed. This man had memorized her passcode, unlocked the phone while she was sleeping, and gone full detective mode. And what did he find? Messages, men, evidence that in his mind proved she was seeing other people.
So I went through her phone, and prior to us being together, conversating, conversing, I see that she had other texts from other men.
But you weren't in a committed relationship, right?
No, not at that time. No, at the time she...
Kaylon was livid. She fired back, saying she had never been with another man during that time. And as for Scott's little stunt with her phone, oh, she wasn't surprised. The way he carried himself, the way he talked, she knew this wasn't a man looking for the truth. This was a man looking for an excuse.
Lon, I gotta come to you. What do you have to say about his accusation?
He is a lie. I think he believes his own lie, for real. I mean, this is like crazy. I don't know where
how
he's
did
getting
it for you?
Okay, so I met him.
At this point, the courtroom was buzzing, but Judge Lake, she was already done with him. Trust issues? She leaned forward. How could a man with 7 kids by 4 women, who by the way was previously married while running around with multiple partners, be the one with trust issues? Boom. Silence.
We established previously that you had a wife or ex-wife, whatever you like to, during the time in which you were sleeping with that person, as well as
this person and that.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for him, it did. Because then he brought up pictures. Allegedly, he had seen photos of other men's body parts on her phone. The courtroom gasped. Kaylon's jaw dropped.
What was your first do you have?
Okay, I went through her phone. There was pictures of male parts, okay? Of other male parts, and it was she was like, well, I'm finna go to Lancaster to visit a friend.
Scott wasn't backing down. He claimed that after his little midnight investigation, he just knew Kaylon had been with someone else. And even though they were together, even though they were intimate more times than anyone needed to know, he still wasn't convinced that baby Ezra was his.
Nobody. And he says, oh, I can't wait till you come issue too. Why? I'm not your friend. If I'm your dude, I'm your man.
Let me get this straight. Miss Kalan, now you're in a part of relationship.
And then came the results. The courtroom fell silent as the envelope was opened. Scott is about to find out he has 8 kids, or not. Judge Lake, with a look that said, I already know how this is going to end, read the results aloud.
Mr. Scott, you are not.
Times Judge Lauren Lake cried on paternity court.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
I love you, and I forgive you, man.
The emotion you express, I sit here every day, and what I try to do is be a voice for kids like you. But I couldn't have said it better. Proud of you.
3 adults and 2 different mothers were in a paternity showdown. The suspense was building as these guys aimed to prove the identity of a mysterious father. Yep, all 3 claimed the single defendant to be the daddy.
Want to know why he wasn't in my life? Why would you sign my birth certificate if you deny me as your child? It hurts me like, oh, get out. You messed my life up. You know that now because...
Take your time.
I died 3 times in the hospital because of you, man. And I hate you for that. I want to let you know that.
Well, if these guys were prepared, so was Mr. Medley Sr., who seemed to have left a trail of doubts and affairs. It's like a twisted love triangle over here. Even though he and baby mama ended up getting married, surprises were waiting just around the corner.
When I met her when I was playing in a band, which was about maybe 3 blocks from where she lived. She would come, she would be there, And after about 4 weeks, she came up and introduced herself to me. But as time went on, I started hearing rumors that she was having sex with other men.
Oh boy, those doubts were as real as they could get. And they cut deep. Both Herons had their reasons as to why they thought they were denied their whole life, and they laid them all out in the open for the daddy to see. Was it betrayal? Or was there more to this complicated story?
It hurts me so much to hear this man sit here in this courtroom and lie to you like that. Look at me. Do our door not look like you? Honestly. Spitting image.
But why were you never there? That's what I want to know. Me and my brother and sister want to know, why were you never there for us?
Let me ask you a question. If you had a child with a woman and you didn't believe it was yours, would you be there?
Moving on, the hurt and pain was pretty real with these guys. The hospital drama proved to be the last nail in the coffin for their parents' divorce. Yep, the absence of the father was glaringly obvious at that point.
I remember his mom being at the hospital. All my family was there. And I remember somebody picking me up, showing me him in the incubator. Not even one yet. With tube stuff all on him because somebody burned him and we still don't know who did it. He said it was a babysitter that we don't even know about. We never seen his babysitter. And then on top of that, he didn't even come to the hospital until way later.
There's a whole lot of emotional turmoil, and the court was drowning in it. And we know how much of a softie Judge Lauren Lake is, so she jumped straight into the paternity of the two sons first. Cue the tears, folks.
It has been determined by this court, you are the father. Do you have anything to say to your sons?
And I'm glad that they are. If your mother hadn't led such a promiscuous lifestyle, we wouldn't even be here.
First of all, my mom is not promiscuous. Second of all, my mom loved you.
Well, these results were certainly eye-opening for the daddy dearest, and the guy still had the audacity to just stand there and do nothing. Well, that won't fly in this court. Nuh-uh.
It's taking all of my energy right now to not come off this bench and just hug them up. But what I do see in these young men is that if you would just take an honorable step in their direction, they would receive you. Yes.
Next in line for a paternity test was Miss Johnson. Now, she grew up without a father, and at one point, she just had enough of that. She took matters into her own hands, but her dear old mommy proved to be somewhat difficult. Oh yeah.
I had asked my mom, one day I was looking in my mirror when I was a teenager and I didn't look like her anymore. I don't know who I'm looking at. The stranger that I'm looking at in the mirror, I need to know. So I was like, Mom, this is enough. I just need to know what's the name of my dad. So she told me his name was Victor Medley, but you are not to contact him while you are in my house.
So the baby daddy had no idea he had a daughter. And then bam, Facebook gave him one heck of a surprise. However, the supposed father-daughter duo had slightly different versions of how the events went down. Uh-oh.
I text you, you didn't text back. I called you, you didn't answer the phone. I left you a message, you didn't leave me a message back. I sent you a message on Facebook and I waited for at least a week and you did not answer me. So then I told you, delete them pictures off Facebook, take my kids off Facebook. We don't want nothing to do with you because when I found out about my brothers and you denied my brothers to me.
Buckle up, people, because the plaintiff was on a daddy-bashing train and she was not planning to slow down at all. Yep, guess she was done waiting all these years for him to step up. And now, all she wanted was closure.
Y'all done broke me down now. I tried to hold the tears back. Proud of this moment, because it was if Mr. Medley came in here today as almost the villain. But the power of love and forgiveness can overtake any wrong.
Gather some tissues, people. We are about to reveal the results. Yep, they were in for Miss Johnson. Time to see whether love and forgiveness will take center stage, or will the journey continue? Here goes nothing.
You are not her father. Mr. Medley, what are you feeling now?
I don't know. I thought she was my daughter.
Miss Johnson, if you didn't know before, he really cared.
The last time the plaintiff laid eyes on the potential father was 16 years ago. And now, Mr. Gower was on a quest to prove that Mr. Ducasse was his biological father. Are they ready for this emotional reunion? I think not.
When you just walked up, I looked at Mr. Gower. You couldn't really even look at him. You didn't look at him. You didn't look at one another. You say you are certain that you're not the plaintiff's biological father, and you claim you had a one-night stand with Mr. Gower's mother, and she was in a long-term relationship with another man.
The defendant straight up denied this possibility and seemed sure of that testimony. But wait till you hear what the son had to say in response. Man, he made something of his life despite his absence. and yet the void gnawed at him.
This has been real hard for me. This is an emotional moment for me. The fact that for 24 years of my life, not having no mother, losing her when I was 4 years old, and then the fact that my father just stranded me, knowing the pressure that I'm gonna have to deal with by myself, of not being there for me, it hurts me.
The relationship backstory unfolded as Mr. Ducasse revealed that he used a withdrawal effort during their one-night stand. And boy, did that add an extra layer of doubt to the situation. His reaction to the pregnancy news was hardly enthusiastic, to say the least.
Why did you name him Sanchez after your best friend? You came to the hospital.
No.
You said his head was shaped just like yours. And matter of fact, looking at your head now, and then looking back at Sanchez when he was first born, y'all's head do look alike.
It appears both parties had certain grievances with each other, and Mr. Ducasse had a whole list of them. Well, the judge simplified their issues for them, while being on the brink of tears herself.
I feel like these moments are so important. It never ceases to amaze me how for 20 and 30 and 40 years, moments and times that have been perceived by two people in two completely different ways can draw a line in the sand that they never figure out how to cross for years and years and years.
Safe to say, these guys had a lot of issues to work through. Well, they will keep the family counselors quite busy. Apparently, baby daddy pulled the vanishing act on the son, and the trouble began.
How can men have sex with women, get them pregnant, and then just leave them and put a toll on that child when this child didn't ask to be here? That puts a lot on these kids out here, and nobody will never understand how these children feel. A lot of these kids wasn't raised up on love, they was raised up on survival. That's why there's a lot of young men that's in jail or dead.
So, the last 16 years without the father were just tragic for this guy. The grandparents had to step into the roles of parents for their grandchild, and the guy made a life for himself, which was nothing short of commendable, and Lauren applauded that fact and more.
When I hear you speak, I am so proud of you and what you've been able to accomplish. And if nobody else says it, I am proud of you.
I'm here to tell you that could you handle being in my shoes? Could you handle not having your mother not in your life and then your father leaving you? Could you imagine what your life could be like?
As the case headed towards the conclusion, Mr. Gower took one last look at the defendant and raised the one question that kept nagging him all these years. Oh boy, you better gather some tissues, cause stuff was about to get real emotional. And when Judge Lake cries, you better believe it's gonna get you too.
I think he does understand the things you're saying.
Okay.
And I mean, he's a young man, but at 24, I think he understands that life continues to happen. I mean, it really does. But it doesn't negate the fact that there was an innocent life out there. And I think that's what Mr. Gower is saying. Now, Mr. Gower, you have brought me to tears today.
I warned you, you're gonna have tears and snot watching this young fella display all kinds of emotions. And there were more, as Lauren Lake and Mr. Gower have one heart-to-heart.
The emotion you express. You know, I sit here every day, and what I try to do is be a voice for kids like you. But I couldn't have said it better than you said it today. Proud of you.
The moment of a reckoning was here. The judge had the results, and we are all on the edge of our seats, aren't we? Let's see whether this decade-old mystery finally gets a conclusion or not.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Ducasse, you are the father.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
I did lie to him. A father was here to battle for the paternity of his baby. Mommy had a change of heart and now sang a different tune. Different baby daddy. Let the paternity rumble begin.
We were moving out of my best friend's apartment, and it was just about that I got the truck loaded up with everything. And I went upstairs to grab my last box, and my best friend at the time pulled me aside and told me him and my brother had both slept with me.
Well, honestly, it just happened. I didn't do it out of spite towards him or anything.
Brace yourself for a wild ride that was this relationship drama. So Mr. Deggs happened to get a surprise of a lifetime from his best friend. And guess what? The baby mama admitted to it. And that too without an iota of remorse. Ouch!
It's not because I'm a bad person. I was lacking affection from him. He was never home. He was always...
I work, Your Honor. I work full time to make
Okay,
sure that
and then
her nails
after
and
he
her
would
hair
come,
get
after
done
he would get off
to make
work,
sure
he
that she
never
was
came
happier.
home. He left me in the apartment all the time with a roommate
I
that
was
he
working
knew was
full
attracted
time.
to me and wanted to be with me.
Dear God, Miss Guerin's pregnancy was just a maze of doubts, deceit, and a tangled web of infidelity. Loyalty was like finding a needle in the haystack. The baby mama betrayed the baby daddy in every way possible.
With his
That's fair
brother.
enough. It was an attraction. He was paying me the attention that Jason was not.
Because I was at work.
I felt replaceable to Jason.
What did you want me to do?
I felt replaceable to him. So yes, I did look for affection and everything I want in a relationship.
Well, the origin of pregnancy was sketchy at best, and the defendant's actions led to more and more turmoil. Surely, after all this, the guy must bid farewell to baby mama. Well, you guessed wrong. Oh yeah, he stayed.
I loved her that much that I wanted to work on it again.
Wow.
Because I loved her that much.
Because he knew he cheated from the gate.
No, because I loved you.
Okay.
Maybe you cheated as well. However, that would not affect the paternity of the child we're talking about.
When I found out I was pregnant, we had a lot of problems. We had already cheated on each other.
The window of conception was murky. The confusion was real. And desperation? Well, that was at an all-time high. The plaintiff stayed, and the mommy's response to that was just an okay. And that was so not okay with the judge.
Do you understand why he was hurt, Ms. Guerin? You're the one that's here with a paternity issue regarding the child in question. You're the one that slept with his brother and his best friend. You were the only one during the entire pregnancy that knew that there was doubt.
Moving on, the baby daddy took us to the day the "you are not the father" bomb got dropped on him. Turns out mommy had no knack for subtlety, huh? However, she claimed she wasn't cold and callous, though. I know. Hard to believe that one.
The reaction that I got from him, he was happy and we wanted a family. We were together. I did feel like we could build a family together. And then, yes, I did have to tell him because I was struggling within myself of the truth.
You're not
me a lot.
just that cold and callous. It was bugging you.
Absolutely.
You would think that after that revelation, the guy would now be finally done with the woman. But nope, the man still stayed. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Ain't he proven that right? However, his current girl was supporting him though. So, all's not lost, I guess.
The minute we started dating, all the problems came. Megan would blow up his phone. She texted him and was like, "You better keep your job, honey, because all I want is your money."
I never,
ever said
said
she
that.
was like, "All I want is your money. All you
I
need
made
to do
my
is go
own
to
money,
work."
honey.
And you saw these texts.
Megan did not like me from the gate.
Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Yep, the results were in and ready to be revealed. Judge Lake seemed to be just done with the attitude of the baby's mama and gave the final verdict. Oh, but Miss Guerin was just begging for trouble. Well, she got a heavy dose of it.
Mr. Diggs, you are not the father.
I don't know how I'm gonna say goodbye to him. That's all I've ever known to be my child. I live for him. I've been living for him.
Everything you've done thus far.
A classic tale of devotion and deception was about to unfold here, folks. Mr. Jones had a dream come true fatherhood. Sadly, it quickly turned into a nightmare. Mrs. Jones admitted to her infidelity, and now we're about to witness the most sarcastic dance of is she or isn't she in the world of paternity court.
Your Honor, my household been upside down. I'm sleeping on the couch. Your Honor, I never said nothing, but I always had some type of doubt. Ever since I found out she cheated, I always had doubt. I never
And
said
you haven't said
I never
anything.
said nothing, but I look at her and I'm trying to see me. I'm trying to see me in her.
And so you stepped up.
You don't see you in her.
Sometimes.
So the baby mama finally let the cat out of the bag, though she did that during a heated argument. Oh, the betrayal. Hard to come back from that one, right? And on top of that, it appears mommy was in desperate need of a biology lesson.
Yes, I did tell him, but that was in the heat of the moment. I did, mess up in the past around this time of conceiving. And, we all are human. We all make mistakes. I regret it. I'm very ashamed. I'm embarrassed. But it is a doubt in my mind as well.
Well, the roller coaster continues as we learn how they ended up here. It seems the husband had a friend who was the informant, catching the missus red-handed, and that led to a revelation that shook their relationship to its core.
I thought, in my head, I believed that he had someone and that on the side. So I said, you know, why put my all into it?
So how often did you sleep with this other man?
That's what I'm saying. It was, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, it was about 2 times.
The tit-for-tat game was biting back strong now, ain't it? Moreover, it seemed baby daddy had lived a hip, happening life, and according to his exhibit, he failed to impregnate anyone in all those years. So how did he manage to do that to the wifey? Now that was the million-dollar question.
There's a 25-year age difference. You find out your wife is pregnant, and what goes through your mind?
I couldn't believe it. I didn't think I could have a baby at that age. I was 48 years old.
So you didn't think you could even produce a baby at 48 years old?
No, because my lifestyle, and I was in the street hanging out, doing a lot of things, and I thought maybe,
Moving on, it appears Miss Jones was not aware that the doubts and reservations of her husband Dearest ran this deep. And that led to a pretty emotional altercation next. She was in the court now. No use keeping anything secret at this stage.
I've reformed from my past. My past is one that is very, very hard to talk about. I have done and said and a lot of things that I'm not proud of today. That I will
To your husband?
To my husband, in my life period before my child. When my child changed me, she saved me. She was sent from God.
The baby mama really wanted the husband to be the father. The marriage, along with the baby, hinged on those results. But before we go to that part, you have to watch how the baby mama appeared to be sure she got pregnant by Mr. Jones.
I just want to say this. Is it possible? Because around the time of conception, his sperm did something to me in one of the nights before conceiving, like weeks before, because I only knew that I was pregnant around 2 months. I felt his sperm go inside me and then spread out like a spider web.
The suspense has reached its climax. But no worries, because it was the results time. Will the baby mama get her wish fulfilled and this marriage get saved? Or did that one mistake cost her everything now? Let's find out.
Mr. Jones, you are the father.
Can I hug him?
Yes. You sit in that chair. Miss Sism, sit down.
That's the only reason I want to go.
I'm furious.
You've seen them before. Nude photos.
Yeah,
don't let him sit here and play the role.
Calm down. Ladies.
Oh!
Instead of having a dream in her mind.
If you think you've seen Judge Lauren Lake pissed as hell, wait till you find out what these grandmothers did to her temper. It was an outburst of rage, and trust me, everyone in the courtroom felt the heat. I hope you're ready. This is gonna be one hell of a show.
Ms. Riley, you stand before me claiming that you are 100% positive your son is not the child's father and have insisted on a DNA test from the moment you heard Miss Sism was pregnant. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Miss Sism, how certain are you that Anthony is the father?
I'm 2,000%.
The courtroom jumped into complete disarray when Judge Lauren asked Miss Sissom's daughter if her mother knew she was being intimate at a young age. Of course she didn't. Miss Sissoms confirmed it too. But did Miss Riley agree to any of that? Hell no! She went haywire like a cannonbolt.
She was sneaking at my house. She was coming over here lying, conniving, saying, I have a 14-year-old daughter at home. She was sneaking over there, hollering about she was coming over there to see my daughter.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
My son was going to school. How you going to tell me what's a lie?
Because, Your Honor, they was having sex in her house.
You didn't even care where your daughter was
what type of parent is she? If she gonna tell them, she told them. She told them.
Hold on.
The courtroom was turning into a road rage, with both grandmothers coming at each other from all angles. Judge Lauren finally got them to calm down. Then the bombshells started to drop. I promise you aren't prepared for what you are about to hear.
Your Honor, I see her walking with another guy. My son at school, this is before Destiny even said anything about you was pregnant. Next thing you know, I find out that my son come telling me that she told him that she pregnant. How is that? You just came around 2 weeks ago? And he was messing with another girl at the time.
You You saw Destiny walking with somebody else.
Yes, another guy.
The surprises keep dropping like they had been queued up all this while. It's a storm of accusations in the courtroom. Miss Sissoms then starts to talk about how she had big dreams before Miss Riley's son came to mess it all up by getting her pregnant.
Your daughter had big dreams for her life.
Yes, she did.
Dreams to do what?
My daughter is a senior this year. She was going to college to be a pediatrician and a lawyer. Now she cannot do that because she has Osiris.
Oh, like my son didn't have
care.
dreams.
Oh, excuse me, Your Honor. She has Osiris to take care of. So she cannot do that now.
Now Miss Sissom's daughter finds out she's pregnant. Of course that was gonna happen. Here's where the craziest thing happens. She tells the courtroom the reason why she decided to have the baby, and trust me, it will leave your jaws hanging from your mouth.
But I don't want you to be the only one taking care of him. So we go upstairs, we talk more about it, and he said, you know what, I don't feel safe in the streets, so I think you should have my child, just in case if I leave this earth, you can have something to remember me by. Anthony has so many people that was after him that wanted to hurt him, and that's why he wanted me to have his baby.
Now Miss Sissoms and her daughter are in the waiting room, expecting the baby to be born, and the craziest thing happens. Miss Riley walks into the room. Once Miss Sissoms sets her eyes on her, she goes crazy, asking security to send her out of the hospital. There's no love there for sure.
That's my grandbaby being born in her rude, unselfish, disrespectful self. She comes in there, I'm in the waiting room, she's sitting the guard in there and tell them lying and said I'm threatening her and I need to be removed.
She did.
So I never had my joy to see was that's my grandson.
I sure did.
So I don't feel it's my grandson.
Do you want to know why?
Now there's a plot twist here. Apparently Miss Simmons got Miss Riley removed from the hospital so her son could sign the birth certificate for the baby. I know you're in shock right now. These women are insane.
She has me removed out the hospital so she can get my son to sign this. This is a birth certificate. My son ain't old enough to be doing all this.
You believe she had you removed from the hospital strategically because they wanted to coerce your son into signing the birth certificate?
You on the right today.
One of her family members threatened us.
I guess it's time we brought this grandmother's bloodbath to a close, shall we? It's the moment of truth. The moment we've all been waiting for. The truth is about to be revealed. I hope you're ready because I most definitely am.
Mr. Taylor, you are his father.
I bet I can.
This is about the most ignorant stuff I done seen in here in a long time. Sit down.
Now I can promise you that this particular case will leave you imagining the wildest things and asking yourself, how can this even be possible? Well, I hope you're ready, guys, because you are definitely about to be wowed.
Mr. Morris, you're here because you say certain facts have come to light that make you believe that you fathered one of Miss Thorpe's twins and not the other. You claim a botched home DNA test separated you from your daughter, London, and you intend to rectify that issue today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
It all started in an outrageous manner with Mr. Morris claiming to have only fathered one child out of the pair of twins that were born by his girlfriend, Miss Thorpe. Does that even make any sense? How do you father one child out of a pair of twins? Damn!
Exactly how it sounds. Originally, I was believed that both of them was mine. Over time, certain circumstances made me feel like neither were mine. And then after that, different things happened that made me believe just London was.
We've examined this issue completely in this courtroom.
Now their relationship didn't particularly start off as the typical Sleeping Beauty and Princess Charming kind of story. There were loopholes, trust me, and Miss Thorpe didn't waste any time in stating them without hesitation.
Before anything, we were friends, so I don't even understand why he's even putting me through this. I told Antoine that I wanted to be in a relationship with him, and he turned me down because he was still in love with the mother of his other child. So when that time happened, I got upset and I started messing with another guy.
Okay, and this was after you were already intimate with Mr. Morris?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now Miss Thorpe finds out she's pregnant, and of course she tells Mr. Morris. Is he happy about it? Well, he sure is, and he seems like the happiest man in the world. But all good things don't last now, do they? Let's find out.
I was ecstatic. I was very, very happy. Like I went all out. I bought two of everything. It cost a lot. It was bassinets here, strollers there, car seats. Moved her into a family member house during her pregnancy. Try to make her as comfortable as possible.
She hungry every day.
In no time, the sweet baby daddy turned into the doubtful baby daddy. He starts asking himself questions like, are they really mine? Should I get a DNA test done? What if she lied to me from the beginning? All shades of doubt start to settle in Mr. Morris's head.
All right, so you send the results in, and of course, how do they come back?
0% probability.
But you do understand that you didn't even use the swabs right.
I would just hope, I don't know. Like I said, so.
No, you don't.
I didn't.
I mean, the truth is you don't. You was making something up.
But everything was just confusing.
Now, finding out the twins aren't his, he texts his baby mama being all angry and furious. When he doesn't get a reply from her, what does he do? He goes to social media and posts the news everywhere, saying he isn't the kid and his baby mama lied to him. Trust me, he's one crazy person.
I was at work at the time. He actually texted me and told me that the DNA test came back and that the twins were not his. At the time, I didn't respond automatically because, like I said, I was at work. So he ended up getting very upset and ended up posting it all over social media and telling everybody. He posted all over social media and told everybody that the DNA test came back and that the kids were not his.
The bombshells continue to drop and things start to blow out of proportion. Another surprise comes in. Boom! Mr. Morris wasn't the regular old Mr. Good Guy he was claiming to be. He got another woman pregnant. Oops! Now that's a lot from him. Oh, trust me, Judge Lauren was about to lose her cool.
Oh, you had 2 women pregnant at the same time?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you on team too much all the way around. So you had another baby by another woman at the same time.
The same reason when I was telling Imani why I couldn't be in a relationship with her, because I was in a long-time relationship with someone else. We was on a break then.
Well, the suspense is finally over, and the hassle of who the dad of their child is about to be revealed. It's been a bumpy and funny ride with Mr. Morris and Miss Thorpe. All eyes are on the judge as she unleashes the truth. Get ready, paternity folks.
Mr. Morris, you are not the father. Well, you were correct there. You are not Paris's biological father. Mr. Morris, you are not the father. Miss Thorpe, somewhere inside of you, you knew this was a very real possibility. I can see your reaction.
Mr. Byram had no idea he was signing up for a lifetime of drama when he hooked up with Miss Morris. And my God, was their relationship more chaotic than a Mexican cartel. I hope you guys are ready for this baby daddy drama because it's going to leave you speechless. Trust me.
Mr. Byram, you say the plaintiff admitted to sleeping with another man, and when the results prove you are not Jackson's father, you plan to leave for good.
Yes, I do.
All right, so Mr. Byram, there's a lot at stake today, am I correct?
Our whole relationship is based on this paternity test right here.
His face could tell you that he had been through the thicks and turns of a disloyal relationship. He didn't want to be part of that anymore. What was worse, he wasn't even sure if he was the father of their child. Believe me when I tell you, it was a hustle with these two.
This is the second time she's done this to me. Since we've been together, this isn't just the first time that she's cheated on me. This is the second time. And I've been nothing but faithful and loving to her since day one.
Second time, it happened once.
Ms. Morris, did you cheat on him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you're here saying he is the father of your 1-month-old child, even though you say I cheated.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Byram, playing the detective role, had a funny feeling in his gut that his girlfriend had been messing around. He was hell-bent on proving it, so all his senses were alert, like he was Spider-Man throughout their relationship. What he uncovered would leave you speechless.
At first, through the window, and then that's when I started banging on the doors and the windows. And then I go in the house. He's hiding up in the attic of her grandma's house.
Hiding in the attic?
Yes, ma'am. Hiding in the attic up in her grandma's house. I told him, you gotta...
How did you find him in the attic?
I started searching the house because I had a feeling that they were together.
He found out that his girlfriend had been cheating on him with one of his close friends. Hold up! The juice from this story doesn't just end there. When Miss Morris is asked if she did cheat, she doesn't deny it. I mean, was she excited that she did?
How do you end up sleeping with his friend?
We were having trouble way before I even slept with his friend. I was always constantly getting accused. He's always constantly telling me I'm cheating. It's been happening for 4 years now.
And so what I'm trying to understand is he keeps accusing you, so you just go ahead and validate the accusation?
Well, we technically we split up for a month.
Oh, trust me, Mr. Byram was beyond pissed. He found out that his girlfriend didn't just cheat on him once with his friend. Apparently, they were in a relationship. Now that's really messed up. How do you even do such a thing? It's really unbelievable.
They were together from like July all the way until November. This isn't just a month thing. This was like a 4-month thing.
We were in a potential relationship.
And then you all, after all of this, you got back together?
I wanted to get back together because my daughter is in love with me. She's constantly with me. She don't want nothing to do with anybody else. I want to be there for my kids.
Things start to spiral out of control as more mysteries behind their damaged relationship start to show themselves. Mr. Byram has been trying to bond with his kid, but it's not just working for him. Whenever he looks at the kid, all he sees is his friend's face. Ouch! That must be upsetting.
I keep my distance from him because I don't know if he's my son.
And then sometimes he'll say it's his son, sometimes he'll act like a dad to him, and then sometimes he won't. So it's like a mood swing type of thing. Like he'll say, oh, well, okay, yeah, he's my son, and then a couple days later he'll say, oh, no, that's, I don't know, and he'll switch it up.
Ms. Morris, you do understand how difficult this must be for him.
The whole drama from these two gives you a lot of adrenaline rush. Miss Morris eventually admits that what she did was completely wrong, and hopefully they could work things out and be happy again. But is that what Mr. Byram wants? I very much doubt that.
I want to be with him. I do not want to be with the other guy. He constantly tells me I do, and I don't. And I'm ready to basically move on with our family. I understand the mistakes that I made. I at least admitted to it. I came out and said what I did, but I'm willing to become a family. We already are a family, but...
You want to work on this?
Yes.
She says she wants to try to be a family, and she wants to do the work.
You can't be a family when you're seeing other men.
Well,
I don't see no other men.
Well, there's no going back now. The situation is just very messed up, but the truth is about to be unleashed. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Will they be able to save their relationship, or is this goodbye? The answers lie in front of the judge.
Mr. Byram, you are the father.
Yes.
How does it feel now?
Feels great. Almost want to cry that he's mine.
I'm very sorry, Josh. I'm glad you're the dad. Trust me, I'm very, very happy.
I hope you guys are in for another bumpy ride of baby daddy drama because your minds are about to be blown.
Mr. Smith, you have brought your estranged wife to court to prove that you are the biological father of her 4-year-old daughter, Christina Cookie Smith. You signed the birth certificate and have been daddy since she was born and claim you know you are her father. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. and Mrs. Smith started their love sequel back when they were in middle school. They were the pretty sweethearts back in the day, with all that Disney love. But hold up! Things are about to take an unexpected turn, people!
In the beginning, we actually met in middle school. We went out through, I want to say 7th, 8th grade, and then we reconnected after high school.
All right, and you dated, fell in love?
Right, we actually got married.
Okay.
We actually ended up getting new phones around that time.
Okay.
So it's just like the other phones were kind of lingering around. So I'm just casually just going through them.
He goes through her phone one of those cozy nights and finds out his wife has been sexting another guy, sending him the most inappropriate pictures. Damn, when she's asked, she doesn't deny it at all. That's gonna leave a mark on Mr. Smith's heart if you ask me. Of course, when he found out, he definitely wasn't going to stick around.
My wife and some other cat.
What did you see? What was the exchange?
Well, it was like I miss you. You know, when you miss a person, apparently you've seen them before. Nude photos.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Nude photos of your wife or of the man?
Excuse me, Your Honor. I've never seen any of these alleged text messages that he's talking about.
Well, did you send them?
Now things spiral out of proportion, and Mrs. Smith finds out she's pregnant. Who does she call? She calls Mr. Smith, hoping they could work out their marriage and move on. Does that work? Well, your guess is as good as mine.
So at some point, Miss Smith, you find out you're pregnant?
Yes, ma'am. When I found out I was pregnant, we were very excited. I told Christian we weren't together. And I thought that this could be a chance for us to reconnect and make our marriage work. And he agreed, and shortly after we got back together.
Things become all romantic again for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They're having the time of their lives and in a happy place once again. But does that last? Hell no! Trust me when I tell you, things take a turn for the worst.
And then I saw an Instagram name, so I immediately I look up their Instagram. So I'm scrolling, and I see somebody holding my daughter.
Whoa.
With a
what?
With a cheese, with one of these, with a cheese on their face, like it's all happy and everything.
So does it have a caption?
It did have a caption.
Now Mrs. Smith drops a bomb that blows the minds of everyone in the courtroom. She says she got intimate with another guy and told the guy she wasn't married. Wait, what? I can't believe my ears right now.
And around the time, I was very vulnerable, and he was the only one showing me any type of attention or any love, which I needed because I felt lonely around the time because my husband left me alone. So, yeah.
You had sex with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you use protection?
No, ma'am.
Did you tell him you were married?
No, I did not.
This could only be termed the worst day of Mr. Smith's life. First of all, he finds out that his wife, whom he loves more than anyone in the world, had an affair with someone else. Then another bombshell hits the ground and he finds out he might not be that father to his little girl. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, honestly.
So if he has a caption saying, "This is my child," you had told this other man that the child was his?
Yes.
Yeah, before me, right? Before me. Like I don't mean anything. Just this random person gets the best information in the world and you feel like you can't tell me the one thing that I actually need to hear.
As if things couldn't get any worse. The guy who Mrs. Smith was having an affair with walked into the court, and trust me, he had quite a lot to say. He also thinks the little girl is his child too. That's just sad.
And so when you met her, did Miss Smith say to you, "This is your child"?
I ain't gonna lie, when I seen her, she looks just like my dad. She looks just like us, so, you know, I never really doubted it. You understand what I'm saying? I always thought that, yo, this is my child.
Well, the moment we've all been waiting for is here, and the truth is about to be revealed, people. It's been one tricky ride here, but all that suspense is about to be over. I hope you guys are ready because I am.
The biological father is Mr. Prater.
That's tough.
Which means this web is still continuing.
Times I laughed out loud on paternity court.
About a month after that, can I come wash my clothes? And he never left.
Oh!
And now I just been getting pregnant ever since.
So he went from booty call to resident, like that.
I like him with a dash of ugly and stuff. And it's like, he fit the description. He had a beautiful smile, but he had a little dash of ugly.
Wait, I think that's a first. I've never heard that. You said you like your men with a dash of ugly?
Yes.
Mr. Jordan claimed that he knew all along he wasn't the biological father of Miss Valentin's baby, as he had discovered a suspicious text. But the plaintiff was standing her ground, determined to prove otherwise.
Ms. Valentine, you are here to prove your 3.5-month-old son, Michael Jordan, is the defendant's biological child. You claim Mr. Jordan did not deny your son until you moved on and began dating other men. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the wild world of modern romance, our leading lady is embarked on a dating app journey, seeking a one-night stand. Oh, she had her priorities sorted. Now enter Mr. Jordan, a man with a dash of ugly that caught her fancy. That's how mama likes.
I was on the dating app and I saw Michael. And I swiped right on him and apparently he had swiped right on me as well. I like him with a dash of ugly and stuff. And it's like, he fit the description. He had a beautiful smile, but he had a little dash of ugly.
Wait, I think that's a first. I've never heard that. You said you like your men with a dash of ugly?
Yes.
Now, despite his active role during pregnancy, so much so the man even cut the cord, the suspicions began taking root. So much for the one-night stand, huh? It seems Mr. Jordan was quite upset with the behavior of the baby mama. Now, what might that be?
I was there during the pregnancy, but that was because if it was my kid and I wasn't there, then I would feel bad. But if it is my kid, I'd rather be there throughout everything. But I wanted the paternity test from the beginning.
And I begged you several times to get it. Right when I had him, swab his mouth, send it off. You didn't do it.
You moved to Chicago.
You didn't. No.
Okay, wait.
How did she end up pregnant? Well, it all started with a swipe, protected sex, and then a plot twist involving unprotected passion. Oh, they tried not to get taken away by the simmering passion. Guess that went out the window in the end. Passion won, protection zero.
When he gets there, you say that night you have the one-night stand, but you use protection.
We did use protection, Your Honor.
Then what happened?
We had sex a lot more. We started hanging out some. He came over one night and he was eating my then we did have unprotected sex that same night.
All right, she lying. She lying for a fact. That is not true, Your Honor.
The timeline blurs as these guys aim to be safe during extracurricular activities initially. But as their relationship progressed, well, so did the risk. After bickering, baby daddy finally narrated the encounter. He found the mama in a compromised situation, though she spun that one around. Incoming Michael Jordan, a locked door, and baby mama with a broomstick.
How did you find out Miss Valentine was pregnant?
I came home one night and she had somebody living with her. I ain't never met
Oh,
this man
you're
one day in my
lying.
life.
No, you're lying.
Wait,
You're
you
lying.
said you
didn't
came
come home one night
Yes, I
because
came
you never
home
lived
one night.
with
She
me.
didn't even know I was coming. I just knocked
You're
on
a
the door.
lie. Because every
I
time you
knocked-
came over,
I
you
knocked
called
the
my phone.
Hey, let me
Because
talk.
you're sitting
I'll
here lying.
I'll let you talk. Let me talk.
So, Daddy Jordan had a man spying on the baby mama. Ha! Classic move, huh? And he told him of the time Mommy had multiple men in her house watching TV. Did she accept this accusation? Heck no! So, what did happen then?
I had a 3-bedroom townhouse at the time, so I had only one TV. So if him and my son wanted to watch TV, they were gonna have to watch my TV because there was no other one.
My witness told me
And this
he's seen multiple men
This
coming
multiple.
out.
Hold on. This select witness that he bring with him today, I didn't meet till I was already pregnant.
Well, baby daddy's friend claimed to have the TEA. So, let's hear it then. He claimed to have caught Mom sneaking around and stuff. And Mr. Jordan interjected with the story of his own about the time he found Pizza King and Mommy's phone with a bunch of flirt texts and calls. If only these guys would not turn the court into their backyard. This case could make more sense.
You've been lying. Every word that has came out your mouth has been a lie since we've been here.
No, that
and
was
you're gonna
you.
keep
No,
lying.
that was you.
have to remember
That was
this
you.
is gonna really affect you in
It's
real
gonna
life.
affect you. People
So
gonna know
keep
what type of
playing.
person you
So
are.
Keep playing.
Okay, hold
The
on
same day I
now.
met you, I
playing.
slide in.
Listen,
Is that how it work now?
Hey,
What I said,
You have multiple men over there.
let's get some order.
Oh, Mama Valentin was caught up in all kinds of emotions. Next up was the anger mixed with doses of disappointment. Daddy Jordan was getting on her nerves with his denial and actions. She claimed she came clean about the friend living with her, but he was not buying it. And before this could be resolved, both jumped to another argument that happened in Chicago.
Before I even knew that she was pregnant, but she told another man that she was pregnant after he took her key and went back to Chicago with the key.
First of all, that didn't even happen
That did happen.
when
That
I
did
met
happen.
you.
You
that
know it
happened in
happened.
December when he brought me down on
Miss
this.
Valentine.
You're lying.
Mr. Jordan,
You're
Miss
lying.
Valentine. Stop.
Amidst the chaos, emotions, and accusations, these guys managed to take a much-needed breather, while Judge Lake went for the envelope. Yep, the results were ready to be delivered to end this drama once and for all.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jordan, you are the father. That's your beautiful little boy. He's just precious, and he doesn't deserve this. Y'all gotta get this together. This is messy.
A 6-month-old baby was under the paternity microscope. His mama claimed Mr. Parker was his father. But did he believe that? Not so much, no. He suspected Miss Parker of infidelity, and he was here to not just prove her wrong, but also to get her hooked to a lie detector as well.
You're summoning your boyfriend, Mr. Brown, for a paternity test to prove that he is your 6-month-old son, Malachi's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, you say you stepped up when Malachi was born, but began to have paternity doubts because of Miss Parker's scandalous behavior.
Yes, Your Honor.
Their once loving relationship took a sarcastic turn, as the baby daddy recounted the days when everything was sun shining and bird chirping. However, Mama pulled the good old disappearance act, leaving him clueless, though she defended by claiming the need for freedom. I mean, she's not so bad, right? Oh, but it is when foul play was involved in the shape of another man.
You had a relationship and it was going well, and then she disappeared?
Yeah, just one day I decided to call, and I was like,
Yeah.
she
Did you
didn't
disappear,
tell me.
Miss Parker?
Your Honor, I object.
Yeah, right.
I feel like that I need to be free because at the end of the day,
Free? I wasn't doing anything.
What you mean?
Well, those suspicions turned into a full-blown doubt when the defendant announced she was pregnant. And when you add a dollar store pregnancy test, man, then that's just chaos. Though Mommy Parker didn't back down, nope, she confirmed the pregnancy. I bet throw right in his face.
You just didn't know where she was. You wanted to know where.
Just as a precaution, just in case something happened.
Did you trust her at that time?
Yeah. I mean, I trust her, but it's just.
Your Honor, I feel like
So
he's
if you're in
insecure.
a relationship with somebody and was it a committed relationship?
Yes.
So Mr. Brown seemed to be happy at first though, and then the dates didn't add up, so the doubt train left the station. Choo-choo! because the defendant started reading up on how long the pregnancy lasts and ding, ding, ding.
When did you start having doubts?
After the baby was born, she kept doing. She kept leaving.
So you were with her while the baby was born?
I was in the delivery room.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
I didn't sign the birth certificate.
Did you have a doubt?
Yes, a 50% doubt.
That's a big one.
Yes.
When in doubt, pull out the conception calendar, and that's what Miss Parker did. Though she didn't think it through, did she? I think not, because according to her calculations, she met the defendant on June 1st and she was knocked up by June 4th. Yep, so fast, it gave Lauren Lake whiplash. Now that was a laugh out loud moment, guys.
You met on June the 1st.
Correct.
And you found out you were pregnant on June the 4th?
Yes.
It says that Malachi was born at 1,730 grams, which is 3.8 pounds.
Correct.
So premature indeed.
So we have another man in the equation now. Saw that coming a mile away. But Mommy was still adamant Mr. Brown was her guy. By the looks of it, she was more tilted towards what she felt rather than what she knew. That won't fly in this courtroom.
You know it's Mr. Brown's baby because you were having sex since the day you met. But isn't it also true, Miss Parker, that if you were intimate with another man around that time, that it could potentially be his baby as well?
Mm-hmm. See, the court got my back.
No, Your Honor.
Here comes a witness now. Miss Parker's brother was furious with the defendant, to say the least. Oh, he was barely holding on, or he would have been at his throat. And Mr. Brown's persistent clowning was ticking him off even more. Boy, these results are gonna be interesting.
My hairline's straight. His like an arrow.
All right,
what you mean? That don't mean nothing.
Hold on, Miss Parker, Mr. Brown.
I mean, obviously, you know that's your baby. It's time to step up, be a man. Damn, do what you have to do for your child. It's time to do something right.
I am doing what I do for my child.
What do you do?
The man had a ton of issues with the baby mama, and yet kept coming back for more and more. Now, why was that? It seems he was head over heels in love with the woman. Now that certainly made me laugh, though it made them feel all other emotions.
I be with my friend.
How do I know that you want to tell me
with
that
another
you
guy? He insecure. I don't know what he's doing when he's at home. He not taking
But ultimately, this is tearing your relationship apart.
Yes, it is.
And it's affecting Malachi's life as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, before we get to the lie detector test results, the paternity question remains unanswered. So, let's get on with that first, shall we? Time to see whether all that love remains in full bloom after the results, or not so much.
Mr. Brown, you are not Malachi's father. I'm sorry for you both. I know you wanted a different result.
Miss McDaniel was not coming slow when she accused Mr. Lennon of tricking her into pregnancy, only to deny fathering the baby later on. Now, what kind of behavior was that, huh? Hop in this chaos, folks.
I want to first off start him saying by he shouldn't deny my baby when my baby looked just like him. So he was the one to have me pregnant, Your Honor.
He wanted a baby?
Yes.
Tell me.
He told me that he wanted to have a child, which was biologically his, because he have two that's not his.
No, Your Honor, that's not true.
Who knew an online encounter would have paternity court as the last stop? But it happened. As Mama elaborated on how Daddy expressed a desire for a biological child, and she got right on that, I guess. I mean, who does that? Right after meeting up for the first time. And now the defendant was labeling her a gold digger and suggesting she contact other potential fathers. Ouch, right?
Well, the simple fact is, when I met her off of a site. And from me meeting her from a site, I wanted to see what kind of person she is and see if she wanted to have a life.
He also wanted to have sex with me, Your Honor. He asked me for my number on the site that he met me off of. That is correct about that, but he wanted to have a baby also.
So Daddy Lennon denied fatherhood. Shocker! Though he was pretty quick to take the date to all kinds of bases. It appears he was fond of mentioning them having good times down the road. Though what Judge Lauren and I think all of us failed to comprehend was that he meant that quite literally. Yep, laughing at that one.
You meant literally on the road.
Oh, not like that. When we pulled over, we had sex on the road. off of the road. But then when we got to my house after
So
we
my
had
thing
sex,
is, sex
the
was
first
all on
thing,
his mind when he hit me up.
Hold on. Let me understand this. So you were online,
yes, Your Honor,
looking for love or looking for lust?
looking for love, really.
Sober up now, folks. Not so fast, though, because these guys were not on the same page at all. They did the banging before they did the talking, as Mama claimed he wanted to be her boyfriend while she wanted a sugar daddy. And that's not it. Oh, there were very specific traits that attracted these guys to each other.
So what attracted you to Mr. Lennon?
That I thought he was a grown-up man who can step up to the plate, any plate.
And so, Mr. Lennon, what attracted you to Ms. McDaniel?
My big booty and my cute smile, you might as well say.
Now, it's only fair that we too took a peek at the profile that started it all. Oh, Lauren Lake found it and read it out loud. Miss Parker was definitely on the hunt for good times and companionship. Hold on though, because she also claimed Mr. Lennon had been falling for her, though trouble knocked at her door when she demanded something else.
Her attitude is the one that changed it.
That's
She
when he
has
said
a real
himself.
bad,
He poured
nasty
his heart
attitude.
out to
One
me.
time.
He pulled his heart out to me after the time that we done have sex multiple times. He was falling for me.
Okay, were you falling for him?
I could say at the first time, yes, I was falling for Maurice.
Incoming Miss Parker's sister, who had 2 cents of her own to share. She claimed the baby daddy took her sister with pretty promises that he didn't keep, while he kept knocking these claims right out of the park.
I even had a conversation with Mr. Lerner.
And what'd he say?
About he was going to take care of her.
No, Your Honor, I did
he
not
was gonna
say
take
that.
care
I
of
did
the
not
baby.
say that
He
to
was
that
gonna
woman.
put her and
No,
the
I
baby
did not say
in
that.
a
No, the only time
three-bedroom
I
house.
talked to your sister is when she was in the hospital, and that's when I was introduced to her. Y'all called me from the hospital.
Oh, the sister made matters worse, because after her testimony, Mommy and supposed daddy were locking horns again, from protection being on or off to their intimate days. These guys argued over everything.
You told me that when we was having sex with a condom, and then you
a
asked
condom,
me
that's what I
to stop.
understand. Where in the world a condom come in? Because we did not think about no condom when I
Maurice,
pulled
just
beside the
really-
road.
Well, let me-
we didn't have no
let me
condom.
tell
And then
you,
after
yes,
that,
we
when we
did.
got to the house, it was no condom talked about it involved
Yes,
anything.
it was.
Next up was the cousin of Mr. Lennon, who just so happened to live across from his house. And boy, did she spy on the baby mama at all times, which she did and shared her findings with the court. Oh, Mama was not looking good.
Miss McDaniels jumped in and out of vehicles all while she was at our home.
And that's a lie. Your
Then she
Honor.
called and told the boy that she was pregnant. So my thing is this, if he's the baby father, the baby will get taken care of. But if it's not, then let Miss McDaniels go on about her business.
So baby daddy was a no-show on the day of birth. No surprise there. He gave the excuse of no gas money, but Judge Lake had a hard time wrapping her head around the fact Miss McDaniel had a sugar daddy. So why no money for the gas then, huh?
You thought he just making up excuses not to come to the hospital.
Yes, he's been making up excuses.
Did he ever
the whole
show
time.
up?
I told him that I was pregnant. No.
You never showed up, Mr.
No, Your Honor,
Lennon.
because the reason why I did that one time before. The woman had the baby. Next thing I know, in time, I'm not the baby dad. So I'm told to myself, I'm not gonna put myself that kind of stress
How you know
and
you
hurt no more.
Either they are lying or I am flying. Enough testimony had been heard finally. Time to take a peek at the results and pull the curtain down on this paternity drama. Let's see whether Mr. Lennon is the father or not.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Lennon, you are not the father.
That's right.
Like I told you.
Oh.
You sure that's right, Your Honor?
Yes, we're positive.
Now, one part was sure that her 4-month-old baby girl was fathered by Mr. Bennett, but he was playing the doubt game. Was it just past relationship baggage, or was there more to this tale of casual romance gone haywire?
Ms. Coleman, you say today you will be vindicated when the DNA test proves Mr. Bennett is the father of your 4-month-old daughter, Marlea.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say the only reason he has doubt is because he's been through this situation in the past. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, the relationship began at the workplace. There was flirtation and laughter, and so a one-night stand soon transitioned to a live-in boyfriend. Solid ground or shaky house of cards? You tell me.
You claim you caught her having sex with another man, which is exactly why you don't believe you are the father. Is that correct? So, Ms. Coleman, you are furious that Mr. Bennett is denying Marlia. Explain.
Mr. Bennett has 7 kids. He treats my baby like the Cinderella stepchild.
Accusations fly as Miss Coleman claimed Daddy Bennett treated their daughter like a Cinderella stepchild. While the analogy seemed to be spot on, exactly how did baby daddy end up living with the mama when they were just, casual?
You said you let him be your booty call.
Yes, and that was it.
It went a month. It was about like 2 weeks.
Stay over there on your side, okay? Stay over there on your
Come
side.
on, be honest. Let's be real.
I gave you my number in the beginning of April. About a month after that, can I come wash my clothes? And he never left.
Moving on, the plaintiff claimed she was committed. To what exactly? Well, to their love life, not to him. Her words, mind you. And yeah, it makes no sense, I know. But she tried too. But her getting chummy with the new upstairs neighbor got in the way.
I was committed. He wasn't. So it ain't no telling how
Committed
to
to what?
get out here.
What you committed to?
To our sex life, not to you. Okay.
You committed to everybody else too?
No.
Well, were you
committed
having
to me?
sex
Who
with
else you
anybody
committed
else?
to?
No, I didn't have to.
Who else was you committed to? You just said it. Who else you committed to?
I was committed to our sex life.
You was
not to us
committed
in
to
no,
what?
like, no relationship because he don't do right.
So that's how it all began, huh? And that's just the tip of the doubt iceberg. Mama was not just buddy-buddy with the neighbor. Oh, she was also spending her nights somewhere other than what she told him. Oh, he painted a vivid picture of a midnight escapade involving a beating window, a suspected affair, and a potential love triangle.
A car was out here. I told my homie to stay right here, right? Cause right in that alley, you can't. It's our front door and this outside door. You can't get out. You can't go nowhere. So I came right here to this window right here. Put my ear to the window. I can hear something. I don't know if they was doing it or they was finished doing it. Cause you know you laugh after you get through having sex or whatever. I'm just saying, yeah.
He called and no answer. But lo and behold, Miss Coleman was all chirpy the coming morning. Was that a good sign? Don't think so. But she had her version all ready to be testified. And I should say, her reason that there wasn't a man inside the house with her made some sense.
He was out there with her in the car doing whatever they supposed to be doing. That's how he knew I went home. So he came back at 6:09 in the morning, came beating on all my windows in my bedroom. So when he beat the first time, I thought if somebody had dropped something upstairs. I was like, dang, what they doing? He beat again, because I was asleep. So he beat again, so I went and got in the closet because I just thought he was gonna go ahead and beat the front door in once he got around there.
Now, how did Mommy get pregnant after all of these shenanigans? I must say, they were both fond of painting graphic pictures. Take this, for example. It was during the week when they were at work and used company hours for something else other than working.
We were working at the same job, and we worked the Sunday through Wednesday schedule, so it was a Saturday night. We getting booted, it's going down, okay, and he was like, it's about to happen. And I said, well, 2 more minutes. And he was like, I don't have 2 more minutes. Then there I go, I'm pregnant.
Apart from all these doubts, the one that struck him the most was baby mama admitting herself that he wasn't the father. Yep, in moments of madness, she pulled that move. Must be regretting it now, huh? However, in her defense, Mr. Bennett pushed her to it by throwing shade at her on social media.
He wakes up every day and humiliates me on Facebook. He get on live, I'm a bad mom. He gonna turn me into the people. I don't do this, I don't do that. Like, he'll go live like 25 minutes at a time and like dog me like I ain't never did nothing for him, took care of them kids while they sent over there to the house looking like don't nobody care about them. I don't never send them home hungry off my ticket.
Well, all that fussing and fighting drove the judge straight to the results. Tons of grievances, accusations, and allegations later. The final verdict was ready to be delivered. Will these guys grow up from this encounter or continue living like that? Let's find out.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Bennett, you are the father. You are the father. That's your baby. Beautiful little girl.
Pretty silent now, ain't we?
That's exactly what I was thinking. So much to say until now.